Alright, oh, we're live. Welcome to the stream, welcome to the video. Watching it after the fact. Oh no, the song. Okay, that's perfect time. The song's just ending. We're doing a little bit of a different. I don't know. So first of all, I'm going to say this. I don't think anybody's going to be interested in anything I have to say about the what we're about to talk about in the stream. But I feel like I have to say something. I feel like I have to talk about it because I've been thinking about it to the point where I know the screen's blank right now. If anybody's watching this is live, by the way. If anybody somehow stumbles across this video afterwards, we're going to be talking about the Ocarina of Time remake trailer and just like generally discussion about it. Wait, is there like a playlist here I can just put on briefly? By the way, there is going to be no. Oh, here we go. Gerudo Valley. There's going to be no structure whatsoever to this video, okay, or this stream. The plan is we're going to look through the trailer because I have a problem with my own reaction. I streamed my reaction. I know it's a black screen. Bear with me a second. I'm not prepared fully about what's going to happen because I don't normally do stuff like this. Okay, so please bear with me. If anybody's watching this, please bear with me. And if anybody watches afterwards, please bear with me. This is not something I normally do. Raptor of Hyrule. First of all, nice name. Second of all, don't underestimate yourself. Of course, interest we have to say. I appreciate it. It's been something that's been on my mind the last couple of days to even the point. Look, I've even wrote down a whole bunch of stuff I want to talk about. I have never done this about any game externally. I've never done it about any game, but I feel like I've been thinking about this the last 2 days. But yeah, I'll just say there's going to be like no like structure in this, okay? It is going to be as sporadic and we're going to be jumping around. I've got no structure. I'm not a professional. I normally just live stream if I do, and I play games somewhat okay. All right? But basically, I wanted to just go through the trailer again because I have a problem with my own initial reaction to the trailer. And I'm annoyed at myself. And I'll quickly explain why. So I streamed the Nintendo Direct the other day. And, hold on, just gonna set my... One moment. I streamed the Nintendo Direct the other day. And I was kind of expecting the because it had been leaked, right? It had been leaked online. If you're online and if you follow like Zelda and stuff like that, it had been leaked online that there is going to be a remake of Ocarina of Time. I take that with a pinch of salt because you hear a lot of this stuff all the time, and if it is true, doesn't mean it's going to be revealed. Now obviously we know now it's been revealed. It's coming out this year apparently, which is one thing I was kind of shocked about and surprised it was going to be coming out this year. But my initial reaction was kind of muted. Because I don't know why. My initial reaction to seeing this trailer was just very muted, and I don't know why, because I've watched this trailer several times after this. Many times I've watched this trailer. Or it's not even a trailer, it's a teaser. You don't see it. This is one thing that's going to bother me, and I'm going to give some opinions here about what idiots, and I'm sorry, and I'm going to use some harsh words here. There's stupid people online that say some dumb things, and they're either stupid or they're rage baiting or they're both. Okay, all right, we've just listened to Kokiri Forest. Let's go for Lost Woods because you can't go wrong with that. But yeah, so we're going to be talking here about the trailer, and like I said, my initial reaction was very muted, and I'm trying to work out why it was, because I am genuinely excited as a Zelda fan. If you don't, I've been playing Zelda since I was like 5 years old. I'm 37 years old now. I've been playing it for 32 years. I've been playing Zelda. I've played many. My first Zelda game was Link's Awakening on the Game Boy. Is it down here? I still have my original cartridge down here. I'll find it in a bit. I still have my, I mean, look at that. See, I'm a proper Zelda fan. I'm wearing a Zelda t-shirt. By the way, that's just me being sarcastic. Yeah, I've been playing Zelda. It's my favorite franchise. I've done, I think, nearly 200 streams or videos on Zelda on my channel over the last couple of years. Just playthroughs and randomizers and whatnot, right? So I know I kind of know what I'm talking about. But I basically wanted to go through the trailer first, and I wanted to talk about what my opinions were of the trailer, what I see, and then we'll get into some of these damn bullet points that I wrote down here. And like I say, there's going to be no structure, okay? Not a single bit of structure in this whatsoever. It's going to be all over the place. Anyway, so I'm going to stop rambling. Let's first of all, and we've seen the trailer. If you've seen the trailer, we're going to watch it again. I'm sorry, Forest Temple. Also, we're going to be playing Ocarina of Time in this stream, by the way. I'm going to play it once we finish this. But first of all, let's look at this trailer again, okay? Let's just go through it.
Long ago, there was a land called Hyrule, created by beings of supreme divinity.
Okay. So we've seen this. As soon as you hear the Saria's song, you know it's Ocarina of Time. You know what it's going to be. Now, in my original reaction, as soon as I heard you hear it, I think everybody knows at that point it's Ocarina of Time. But then I made the suggestion in that stream, oh, what if it's Ocarina of Time? What if this is a sequel to Ocarina of Time? And then you may say, well, we've already had sequels to Ocarina of Time. Twilight Princess was a sequel, and Wind Waker was a sequel. Yeah, technically they were, but I'm on about the what if it could have been a continuation of the Hero of Time's journey after leaving Termina, right? What happened to him between then and we see him again in Twilight Princess when he's like the hero shade or whatever, right? So what I thought it could have been that, but then when they started playing, when it came to this part,
within it, an ancient solitary
obviously Deku Tree
quietly watched over the inhabitants of the forest.
And then if you listen carefully,
these forest dwellers were called
when he mentions the Kokiri, you hear
each had a
the
fairy,
Kokiri forest theme.
and they lived out their innocent
So
life.
right here, I was like, oh, what if this is Link's, you know, following on with Link? Obviously, we know now that's not the case.
Lives in these woods. However,
I cried, you cried too. I didn't cry. Look, the thing is, mine. Do you know what I'm going to do in a minute? I'm going to show you my initial reaction to this, and I don't like it. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Justin J3283, hello as well. Welcome to the stream. By the way, I will continue to say this. I apologize if this is sporadic and all over the place. I don't normally do stuff like this, but I felt like I had to say something because I've been thinking about it a lot.
who did not have a fairy?
So we're gonna just watch. We've seen the trailer. We're gonna watch it again. Oh wait, I'm not gonna stop it anymore. Okay. Now this is. You know what? I'm not gonna say anything. The hell is this? I don't even know what flavor this drink is. All right, we're gonna talk about this. Don't worry. The Triforce on the hand, the graphics, the Link size for some reason. People. Anyway, we'll talk about. People are dumb. People are about the logo and the shield not. People are stupid. Stupid. Sorry, you're gonna get me out because I'm passionate about Zelda. I've been a fan all my life. 2026. Okay, so let's talk about sex, baby. No, let's not do that. Okay, so on my notes here, we're first going to talk about. You can see the hat hanging on the bed on the left. Yes, I noticed that somebody pointed that out, and it's got like almost like berry or beads and stuff in it, which is pretty cool. And we'll talk about his design in a minute. We'll talk about Link's design momentarily. Of the eight, I think if you count this, there's 18 seconds of Link. You see Link for 18 seconds. What happens if this becomes a trilogy? Majora's Mask and Zelda: A Hero's Purpose. I don't know where you're getting the hero's purpose from, but I would like to see. Okay, let me talk about. Let me get into that in a second. Okay, there's no structure in this stream, but I want there's some sort of structure. Okay, let's leave it on the logo. Okay, Ocarina of Time. So my first reaction to this was very muted. And I think it was because I was expecting it. And also, Ocarina of Time, don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot. Ocarina of Time, obviously I know how good Ocarina of Time is. And you know what, whilst I'm talking here, I know what it did for gaming, and like I was around when it came out, 1998. I was 9 years old in 1998. I was very aware of this game. I didn't play it till a little bit later on, but yeah. So my favorite Legend of Zelda is Link's Awakening. The original Link's Awakening, and then the remake, I think, is the best way to play Link's Awakening because of its quality of life changes and the way it looks. But the OG Link's Awakening, not Link's Awakening DX, even though it's basically the same game with Color Dungeon and the camera feature, whatever, right? But Link's Awakening is my favorite game. It's one of my earliest, if not my earliest memory, along with Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and Tetris, Prince of Persia, Super Mario Land. Those early Game Boy games was because my older brother had a Game Boy, right? So my favorite Zelda game is Link's Awakening. Now, obviously, Ocarina of Time is by what even non-Zelda fans know what Ocarina of Time is. Okay, that's how big it is. So when I think the reason why it was muted for me, my own reaction was muted because I was expecting it and it was leaked. So I was kind of like, oh, it actually is happening. It wasn't until afterwards that I actually absorbed it, and I got kind of a little bit emotional watching the trailer. Like you say there, I didn't cry, but I got a little bit emotional because Zelda's like, it's a big part of my life with gaming. Is the Legend of Zelda is my biggest my favorite franchise, right? So I did, after rewatching it and taking it in, I took it in, and I took it. But when I first watched it, I was just kind of like, oh, it's actually happening. And looking back on my own reaction, I'm just like, oh, you know, you see it also as well. I'm not the kind of person, okay? I'm not a YouTuber, okay? I know I'm streaming on YouTube, and I'm streaming on Twitch as well, but I'm not a YouTuber. So you're never going to see, you see like people go like, oh my God, oh my God, I'm shaking, Ocarina of Time, oh my God. And they go mental. Look, some people do have genuine reactions like that, but I would say 99.999% of those people do those reactions, not just with Zelda. I saw it with recently with Resident Evil as well. Resident Evil Code Veronica being remade. I'm excited about that. I'm a big Resident Evil fan. But you see these over-the-top reactions, like way over the top. And the reason why you see that is because, oh, they clip it up for 2 minutes, put it on the YouTube and go, Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time Remake, first reaction, oh my God, in capital letters, right? So a lot of these reactions are over the top. So you're never going to get that from me. But if I'm excited about something, I'm going to tell you, but it's never going to be this big, crying and all this stuff, right? Because, I don't know, I think a lot of it's performative with YouTubers and streamers. You look at streamers, YouTubers, everything's big and loud and you ain't going to get that with me. Doesn't matter what it is, you're not going to get it with me. But yeah, so that my initial reaction was muted, but I think that's just because I was kind of shocked that it was actually happening. What's my favorite? What's your favorite episode? My favorite episode of what? Do you my favorite game? 5 was my from Majora's Mask fan series. Oh, sorry. From the Majora Link fan series, I consider it to personally be canon. I don't know what. Oh right. Oh, sorry. I see what you're saying. I don't know that. I'm not really into the fan fiction stuff. So after looking at this trailer several times, you know, I noticed a few things. I'm not really good at like breaking stuff down, but yeah, if you look, obviously there's Deku Tree, there's Hyrule Castle. We're not here to do a breakdown. There's better people out there who do breakdowns of stuff, right? Zelda people, right? Zelda content creators. I'm not a Zelda content creator. I just happen to think Zelda's my favorite. Zelda is my favorite gaming franchise. But also here you can see the Kokiri, and these are from. If you look, there's don't shoot me. I don't remember exactly the names of all these Kokiri that you see in the start area. Mido and Fido and I know Saria and all that. Okay, but there's obviously the brothers, I think they are, who are picking up the rocks. That's them there. They got their fairies. They're talking. Obviously, this is maybe the Deku Tree speaking. One thing I did find interesting is it sounds like they're talking about it in the past. It was like, oh, well, you know, what does it say here right at the start? Like it was like long ago. There we go. Long ago, there was a land called Hyrule. So who's telling this story? maybe it's a, I don't know. We don't know. We don't know what this game's gonna be, and that's something we'll talk about in a minute. But yeah, so we don't know who's talking about. I noticed this as well. Obviously, you see Link. Some people say that this isn't Link. This is Link's mum, because they say this is. I mean, to be fair, I can kind of see this here. Yes, yep. It kind of looks like hair, but to me, looking at it, if you just take a moment to look at it, it is green. That is green. It's just a light green. And it does look, okay, it does look very similar on first glance to his hair. But this is Link. This is not Link's mom. This is Link, right? Also, I noticed as well when I first watched the trailer was here on the left side, sorry, is the Hylian crest, or the loft wing that you normally see on the shield right here. And also, the thing I noticed as well was the eye symbols, which obviously, it's not one-to-one, but the eyes in Zelda, eyes are a very big thing in Zelda, obviously with the Sheikah and all that as well. If you want to be technical, the Yiga clan as well, later on down the line, but stereotypically, you think of eyes, you think of the Sheikah. So you look at all the eyes here. Obviously, Link doesn't have a fairy. The reason why he doesn't have a fairy is because he's not a Kokiri, he's a Hylian. And then, obviously, we get my first reaction to seeing Link, I must admit, I was kind of like, oh, Link looks weird. And I think a lot of people have had the same reactions, like, oh god, Link looks strange. And I kind of talked about this, I talked about this in my actual initial reaction, because after like 5 minutes or so, I got used to seeing Link like this. I was like, oh, actually, it looks like Link. And really, I initially saw that, I was like, man, it doesn't look like Link. But then when my brain sort of went, hold on a minute, yeah, okay. And obviously, like you say, you can see his hat here. His outfit is like woven like grass, which I think is really cool, because the Kokiri would be dressed like, they wouldn't be dressed, I would feel like the Kokiri forest dwellers would be using things like grass and hay and stuff like that. You can just see around, look, there's the hay beds and the grass and all that. So I think this is pretty cool. What should this game be rated? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends on where you're from, like where in the world you are as well, right? Because they rate things differently. Yeah, you are right. Like you say, his hat. That is his hat. If you look, this is his hat. People are like, why is his hat so long? Go back to the original Ocarina of Time. Link has a long hat in the original Ocarina. Maybe not that long, but it's styled. People are like, oh, all this tapestry stuff. Oh, this tapestry. Oh, this is just from the new Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. Ah! Did you never play Wind Waker? Go and look at the Wind Waker intro. It's not tapestry, but look at the style. It's very, very reminiscent of this, right? So people are dumb, right? And also, as well, like I say, I think some people are like, they're either dumb or they're rage baiting online, or they're both. It's one of those three things. 3DS version is E10 plus. Yeah, maybe it'd be something like that. I don't know. But yeah, my initial reaction to this was, I was like, oh, Link looks weird. But after 5 minutes or so, what I was thinking as well is like, my initial reaction to seeing Link like this was weird, because and I said it in my stream the other day. I was like, well, if I said to a Zelda fan, I'm thinking of an iteration of Link right now, okay? Child Link. If I say Child Link, who am I talking about? I'm talking about this fella here, right? But not this. It's not this. Look, if I say Child Link, I automatically know that I'm thinking about Ocarina of Time, Child Link. If you say Adult Link, who am I thinking of? If I said to you, oh, Adult Link, who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of Ocarina of Time's Adult Link. It's just, we just know that it's Adult Link. If I said Wolf Link, you'd be talking about this fella here. Or Ocarina of Time's, 17-year-old version of Link, the farmer, right? The farm boy. If I said Toon Link, in your mind, you know who I'm talking about. I'm thinking of Wind Waker, Spirit Tracks, Phantom Hourglass Link. They're Toon Link, right? So when I think of Child Link, I automatically have this vision in my head of the original or the 3DS version of Link. So when I first saw Link looking like this, in realistic graphics, realistic graphics. All right. Whatever. Okay. Unreal. This is not. But first of all, I'm going to get this out of the way right now. This is not Unreal Engine. Idiots online are just so brainwashed by looking at AI. It's like cell shading Link. Well, I wouldn't call. I mean, yeah, I guess cell shading Link. You would think of Wind Waker. Wind Waker cell shaded. I guess Wind Waker is not cell shaded, but Wind Waker. Sorry, cell shaded is Skyward Sword, and then the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, right? Well, I don't know. Is Skyward Sword's Link classed as cell shading? Anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter. My point is, though, in my mind, I've had the look of Link, like, you know, I've had the look of Link ingrained in my mind for nearly 30 years. So when you see him looking different, why the hell is it playing Undertale? Deltarune. Why the hell are we playing Deltarune? Well, stuff it. I just put in Kokiri Forest mix, and it's come up with Deltarune Chapter 1's fight music for some reason. Or Deltarune fight music. Anyway, whatever. We'll go with it. But yeah, so it took me a minute or so, but I think this looks like Child Link. And a lot of people are like, it looks weird, and it doesn't look like Link, and it's too realistic, and it's Unreal Engine. It looks like those Unreal Engine games, there's AI games that people. No, it doesn't. Shut up. It doesn't look. It doesn't. It's 18 seconds of Link. 18 seconds. He moves his eyelids, moves his hand, moves his leg, and makes a noise, and that's all we get. The voice being different. Well, but it's going to be different. See, the problem is as well. Like a lot of people will go. Oh, and we'll talk about this in a minute. A lot of people say, oh, but he's going to sound different. But if he sounded the same, people go, oh, but why? Oh, it's lazy. They're just using the old way he sounds. It's people, you can't win. In my opinion, everything's going to sound different. That's good, right? Anyway, let's talk about what I've wrote down here on this list, okay? So, the Hylian Shield. Let's go to the logo. So, once again, still get to Switch 2. I see you've got some time. We've no idea when this game's coming out. So you've got at the most 6 months, 5.5 months to get one. Okay, let's look at the logo. People are complaining about the logo, which boggles my mind because people are stupid. I'm sorry. And once again, if you're one of these people, you're stupid. You're dumb. And I'm not scared of saying it because I'm passionate about The Legend of Zelda. And if you're one of these people online, you're dumb. I'm sorry, don't like it. Don't care. You're dumb, right? Stupid. Right, the logo. What are people saying about the logo? Hylian Shield design is not the same as the original Ocarina of Time. And the Master Sword looks different as well. So this design, okay, this design of the Master Sword, this design of the Hylian Shield is more, it looks like the shield and sword from Skyward Sword onward. So Skyward Sword, I guess you can count. I'm not too sure about Link Between Worlds, but I'm on about 3D games, right? Skyward Sword, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. This is what the Hylian Shield and the Master Sword look like. Now, people are online are going, "Oh, they got the design. They got the design wrong. It doesn't look. It's not the same as. They need to change the design of the shield. It doesn't look like it." This sword and shield is the Hylian Sword. Hylian Sword is the Hylian Shield and the Master Sword. They are the same, but it just looks different. It's slightly different. It's the newer design. That's all it is. People are like, oh yeah, it's just they're lazy because they're just using it. This is what the Hylian Shield has looked like for 15 years, right? The Hylian Shield has looked like this for 15 years. The sword is ever so slightly different to what it looked like in 1998, right? They're gonna design change. I think the Hylian Sword and the Hylian Shield and the Master Sword look fine, but people are online are going, oh, it looks stupid. It should be the old one. You're dumb. It's the same shield. It just slightly looks different because they changed the design of it. It's the same shield. It's just slightly different. Stop being an idiot. I think it looks good, but I'm guessing it's missing the Triforce triangle. It's missing one upside down triangle at the bottom. But this shield has been here for 15 years. We've known that. Hey, think about it this way. This design of the Hylian Shield has been a thing longer than the previous design. 1998 to 2011 is 13 years. 2011 to 2026 is 15 years. It's been looking like this longer than it looked like it did before. Right? And it's only ever so slightly different. If I show somebody this, they won't go, oh my god, that's not the Hylian shield. It's the Hylian shield. It just, they changed what it looked like slightly. Who cares? It's the Hylian shield. I'd understand if they changed it and it was round with red and spikes coming off it and it's got a face on it that goes blah, 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 or something. Yeah, that's not the Hylian shield. But it's the Hylian shield. People need to stop being so stupid and realize that it's just a different design choice. And it's been like this for 15 years. It's the same shield. It's ever so slightly different, some like rivets and stuff like that. But the general design of the Hylian shield has been like this for 15 years. Did anybody complain in Link's Awakening remake? Do you look at the Hylian shield and Link's got the Hylian shield in Link's Awakening remake? In the original, he doesn't have the Hylian shield. Oh, go! It should be the original one. It's just a plane with nothing on it. Stop. Stop. Oh, technically it's not. If you look at the artwork, it's not. Anyway, whatever. We're not going into that. Anyway, hold on one sec. I'm rambling. I'm passionate. They're trying to bridge the gap between Skyward Sword and Breath of the Wild. How's that then? Explain. Tell me how you know that, Justin. Justin J3283. How are they trying to bridge the gap between Skyward Sword and Breath of the Wild? Even though if you look online long enough, you'll see people complain about littlest things like the way the shield design is, even though it's literally been like this for 15 years. Lore-wise, yeah, but where, how? Where? What in this teaser trailer for the remake of Ocarina of Time does it say they're trying to bridge the gap between Skyward Sword and Breath of the Wild? Please tell me. We've had 18 seconds of Link and then the logo. Please tell me how they're trying to do that. Where's the lore that says that? Tell me. Tell me. Because there's people online as well that think that this game is going to be like, it's not even going to be like the same, like timeline wise. It's going to be like a spin-off. We're going to talk about that in a minute. People who think that, stupid. Dumb. Think about it for 5 minutes, you'll think of a different way. But I would love to know how this logo, that's what you think. Yeah, but why? You can't just say, I could say, oh, the sky is bright pink right now. Why? Because I want it to be bright pink. Now, I would like them to explain what happened between the last game in the timeline and then Breath of the Wild. Because right now, well, I guess technically it's not Breath of the Wild, it's Age of Imprisonment, right? I guess that's Age of Imprisonment is set before that. So let's just call that part that, okay? I think this game could link the separate timeline, maybe old downfall on N64 is new triumph and the new. No, I think okay, but we'll talk about what I think about the story's going to be, because at the end of the day, right now is all speculation. We don't know. We've seen Link. Okay, this is what we've seen of Link. Ready? This is what everybody's on about. Here we go. This is what everybody's making assumptions about. This is what people are making assumptions about. And now they're changing the timeline and it's going to be different. No, just stop. Just wait for a moment. I think this game could be set. Okay, personally, it's better than anything to do with the Wild era. Well, no, it won't be. This is Ocarina of Time. Look, and I wrote this down here, okay? I've wrote this down. Nintendo know how big the original Ocarina of Time and 3DS version, because they're basically the same game for the most part. Ocarina of Time is so pivotal and important, not only to like gaming in general, like the history of gaming, like modern gaming. You could probably still call it modern gaming, even though it was only 30 years ago, but it's modern gaming, modern-ish gaming, right? It's how it shaped gaming to this day, Ocarina of Time. And also the story, how important the story is with the timeline. This Link is the Link, right? He's the Link. This story splits the timelines, you know, downfall, you know, whatever, right? All the timelines, okay? This story. There is no way that Nintendo are going to go, we'll call it Ocarina of Time, but we're just going to tell a completely different story. No. In my opinion, it's going to be the same story, but bigger. It's going to be on a bigger scale, more people, more characters, more areas, more things to explore, more side quests, potentially more dungeons, things like that, right? It's going to be, I don't think it's going to be as big as, it's not going to be as big as Breath of the Wild, as in the scale. Like, you know how big Hyrule is in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom? I don't think it's going to be as big as that. But like, I feel they're going to make it massive. It's going to be a big game. And if you think of like Hyrule Field, right? Think of Hyrule Field in the original. It's quite barren, right? You've got Lon Lon Ranch and whatnot, but it's quite barren. There's not really much going on in there. And what if they like, you know, they could add a whole bunch of areas to explore. More little towns, villages, people to go and see, side quests to do. Play extra, like I say, it could be extra dungeons, little mini dungeons, you know, not shrines. Don't think of shrines. I'm on about little mini dungeons, something like that. Who knows? We don't know. But I think this story is going to be the story of the hero of time. This is not, they will not change how important this Link is. They won't do that. They know how important to everybody as the Zelda fans, and also, like I say, in gaming in general, how important this story is. And also, what about things that maybe were scrapped or changed in the original? They could add all that stuff. We just don't know. We can only speculate. But if I had to bet on it, I'm pretty sure they would not change the story. Because it's like people, okay, let's talk about this. The Triforce on the hand. Everybody online's going, oh, Nintendo, you're terrible. Link doesn't get the Triforce until Ganondorf tries to steal the full Triforce from the Sacred Realm, which then splits the Triforce into the power to Ganondorf and the courage to Link and the wisdom to Zelda. Ah. Have you never played a Zelda game? You never known? Link, the sign on Link's hand. Think about the context of this, okay? I think they're all confused about the Triforce of Courage. It does, but the Triforce of Courage doesn't show on it. Where does it look? Okay, think about this section of the game. Let's say have an option to say, yeah, let's go to the Sacred Realm. You're sick. Go to the Sacred Realm. Why not? We don't know. It'd be cool if that happened, right? Look, Link doesn't get in the original game. Link does not get the Triforce of Courage until Ganondorf tries to steal the Triforce. I'm trying to remember exactly, but I wrote it down here. People complain about the fact that the Triforce of Courage shows on Link's hand in what is presumed to be the start of the game. So if we're saying this is the start of the game, you know, when he's in his treehouse and he has that dream, that prophetic dream about Ganondorf stealing Zelda, and this is what's happening here, right? Let's assume it, because look, Link gets restless, like he's dreaming, right? So he's dreaming about that section of Ganondorf stealing Zelda, right? He has this dream and he wakes up from it. Imagine that's what's happening here. I feel like that's what's happening in this scene right here, right? This symbol on his hand, right? Okay, so the Triforce shows up. So there, look, boom, symbol of the Triforce. Okay, sure. Now, if you want to be technical about it, if you look carefully, this side, which is the Triforce of Courage, stays lit ever so slightly longer. Now, think about what he's dreaming about. He's dreaming about the part. Look, and yeah, you're right. If you've never played like Zelda, the Triforce tattoo symbol has appeared on many Link's hands, whether they've had the Triforce or not. The Triforce symbol, it's like the mark of the hero. He has the spirit of the hero. Go and play Skyward Sword. It tells you everything you need to know about the why things are they are in Zelda. That is just showing, it's an artistic way of showing, in my opinion, he's having that dream, something's awakening in him, He's being reborn. They termed this story is the Legend Reborn, not remade, not remastered, reborn. So this is maybe this is what this is the maybe this has showed up. He's had that dream about Ganondorf. That's what's awakened his, you know, spirit of the hero within him. Whatever, right? He doesn't have the Triforce of Courage. There's nothing about this that says he has the Triforce of Courage. Now, if he had the full thing on his hand and it stayed there, I'd be like, okay, that's a bit weird. He shouldn't have that yet. But it's just it's just a show that he's having that dream and something's awakening. He's reborn. Look, the Link is Skyward Sword's Link, basically reborn. It's a spirit of the hero. So that's going to show up. Anyway, people are saying that why has he got the Triforce of Courage? There's nothing about this that says he's got the Triforce of Courage. Nothing. It just shows the Triforce symbol because that's what normally this is, just a spirit of the hero. Okay. In terms of tool use expansion, picture the hookshot. Yeah, I mean they could change a whole bunch of stuff, like, but we just don't know. We have to wait and see. And I have faith that they will. Whoever's remaking this, I don't know who's doing it, but Nintendo are obviously going to have a heavy input on it, right? Okay. By the way, I don't have the Discord anymore. I ended up closing it down because nobody used it. Sorry about that. Okay, so that's what I have to say about the Triforce. It's just a stylistic way of them showing that's, you know, it's not new that appears on Link's hand. Okay, nonsense. Stop. That's rubbish. Stop. Also, okay, the logo. Let's talk about the logo. Let me just go on my list here. The Hylian Shield. Okay, I've said my piece about the Hylian Shield. People are just stupid. It's been this design. It's been this design for longer than it was the design before. Get over it. Stop. This is the Hylian Shield. This is the Master Sword. Okay. Next thing, which I don't understand why people are on about. You're excited for this. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. And we got long to wait. You know, it's going to be coming this year. So if I had to guess, probably October, November time. Anyway, okay, so people are on about the... First of all, let's look at the style of the logo. Eiji Nomita is still directing. I assume somebody from Nintendo is going to still have a heavy hand in the development of this game. For sure. And it should, you know, Eiji Nomita would probably be the top choice you'd think of. The best game ever made, Reborn. Yeah, and this game has the potential to be even better than the original. Now, don't shoot me down. I know some people go, oh, how can you say that? But I'm on about, it's that if they do this right, it has the potential to surpass the original, in my opinion. But we'll see, because the modern gaming audience complain about flipping everything. Anyway, so let's look at the, how can they improve the sword combat? I don't think they need to change the sword combat. I think they could do more with hidden skills. Yeah, I mean, I imagine they would do something like that. Why, that's something they could do. But I feel like they should do more with, like, maybe the items you can get. Like you say, the hook shot being more, maybe the hook shot and stuff like that. Or even adding new items. Who knows? Like I said, there could be more dungeons. We don't know. New items. Who knows? We don't know anything about that yet. Okay, so let's look at the logo. Everybody's complaining online. Oh, it's it looks like this sort of ruined look. See this tattered look of the logo was originally introduced in Breath of the Wild, and it was initially to show the sort of, you know, to symbolize the ruins of the ruined Hyrule, right? The ruins of old Hyrule. If you think of Breath of the Wild, that's what it's supposed to symbolize. But ever since then, they've sort of gone with this style of cracked and old-looking logo. Now, this is one thing I will agree on. Yes, I don't know why they originally, but I don't think this looks bad. I think it looks fine. I prefer the old style, but there's nothing wrong with this. So, whatever. Yeah, it is the same design as like all the Zelda games since Breath of the Wild have had this stylized, cracked, like, look, right? Biggest boy, hello. I hope they do the better explanation of the timeline. But maybe they will. And if they do, good, because the timeline split was an afterthought, right? I think it's found it is hidden skills should be caught, especially for hero shade connection. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I don't think the sword play needs to change unless like big. It just needs to be, in my opinion, just make it classic Zelda. But they could add things like that, right? The hidden, like you say, we know the hero shade teaches Twilight Princess Link, you know, all the skills and all that, right? So that would be cool if we saw adult Link learn those within this game. I could see them doing that. That'd be really cool. But yeah, so anyway, the tattered look of the logo doesn't bother me. I'm used to it at this point. You know, Breath of the Wild, how long's Breath of the Wild been out? What, nearly 10 years? Get over it. It's changed. Yeah, sure, the old style, whatever. I've got it on my t-shirt right here. Link's Awakening there. There you go. Second thing about the logo, people are saying, oh, the gold text should be red. No, it shouldn't. Go and look at the original box art for Ocarina of Time. They can also re-add the use of medallions. Yes, the medallions, yeah, like A Link to the Past. Anyway, so the logo. People online are saying, oh, it should be red. Yeah, because the title screen, if you look at Ocarina of Time, the title screen, the text is red, right? Sure. No, this is paying homage to the original logo, and also, if you look at some of the, I think it's the special edition N64 cartridges, what color are they? They're gold. So this is a nod to that. The text looks fine the way it is, and I will say I kind of agree with the tattered look, but I'm used to it at this point. It doesn't bother me. I played the game again. It feels like it was deliberate since they made the original. What was that? Anyway, so the logo to me looks completely fine. All these little things that people are talking about, like the color should be red, and oh, the Hylian shield doesn't look the same as it used to look. It looks like the newer ones. Look, stop. Just stop. You complain about stuff, just complain about it. What else have we got? Okay, so we talk about the Triforce. We talk about the color. Graphics. The big one. Where's Link? Here he is, look. Now, like I said before, my initial reaction was, well, Link looks weird. Because he does. Like I say, if I think of Child Link, I already have a thought in my mind of Child Link, okay? Seeing Link like this at first was like, oh, he looks weird. After I give it 5-10 minutes, I thought, you know what? Looking at this looks like Link. This is what I would think Link would look like. I like his design. But some people were even saying online, why is he not wearing his hat or his shoes? Just give that 5 seconds to sink in. He's not wearing his hat or his shoes. He's asleep. What do you mean? He's a little boy who's asleep. Stop. Stop complaining. Of course. Yes, in the original, he's wearing his hat and his boots. That's the original. 20 years, 30 years ago. Of course he's not going to be wearing his shoes in bed. Stop. 3-time Bandit Games theory about Abandoned Town. It seems like it was designed on purpose. I'm not too sure about Abandoned Timeline, but I'm familiar with the timeline split. We can see the hat in the tapestry. Yeah, I know you can see the hat in the tapestry, but I'm just saying, like, people are complaining about why is he not wearing his boots? Because he's in bed. And also people are saying this isn't his treehouse. It doesn't look like the treehouse because there's no window. Of course, this is his treehouse. Where else would he be? This is his treehouse. Look, there's wooden shit everywhere. Yeah, you can see his hat here. Well, it looks like his hat anyway. And I like the design of it. I think the Kokiri, and I said at the start of the stream, the Kokiri would make... And Link's not a Kokiri. Before anybody says that, I know Link is the Kokiri. He's living in the... He's being brought up as a Kokiri there in the Kokiri forest. Stop. So before anybody goes, Link's not a Kokiri though. What I mean is he's living with the Kokiri, right? So obviously these clothes were made by the Kokiri. He is living as a Kokiri. Kokiri. So, of course, and I think them using woven grass and reeds and bushes and is perfect for what they would... They're forest dwellers. Of course. He's in the bed inside the mouth of the Deku Tree. Why would it won't be in the mouth of the Deku Tree is the entrance to the first dungeon, so I highly doubt that. This is him in his tree. Why would he not be in his tree house? Just because it does look like a log with a window behind it like the original, why are people saying, oh, he's not in his tree house here, he must be somewhere else? He just looks different. What do you mean? He's in his tree. Why would he not be in his tree house? And even if he is in his treehouse and he's in a house, who cares? But he'll be in his treehouse. I 100%, when this game comes out and I stream it, the day it comes out, I guarantee you, and even if it's guarantee you, he's in his treehouse here. Why would he not be? Stop. The downfall timeline is the abandoned time. I'd have to refresh myself on people be silly. I know, but it bothers me because, like I said, it's either people are stupid or they're rage baiting or both. It's one of those three things. But yeah, of course he's in his treehouse here. Where else would he be? This is the start of the game going by what we see. Maybe most of the Kokiri rejects him except, well, if you think about it, the Kokiri, if I remember correctly in the original game, I don't think they really like fully embraced him because he was different, right? And because he didn't have a fairy, he was always different. So I think Link was always an outcast. And yeah, obviously he had a affinity with Saria. Anyway, what else? Okay, so what have I looked at here? Also, the graphics. Okay, so remember Wind Waker? Was anybody old enough to remember when Wind Waker came out? Everybody was, even me, I was like, man, Wind Waker looks weird. But Wind Waker is one of the beloved art styles now, right? And the more I look at this Link here, it is what he looks like. He looks what I'd imagine 1998 Link would look like in 2026. But people just look at it and they're so brainwashed by AI, Unreal Engine. People say this is, go and look at Unreal Engine on a clear mind. Look at these Unreal Engine mock-ups that people have made. It looks nothing like this. Nothing like it. Nothing at all. But people just dumb. I'm hoping they shoot Link's brother and save him. I mean, yeah, they could they could show Link what happened to him before here. Yeah, why not? I don't think it's going to start as Link waking up like he does here in the original. I think they could show, like, quite easy show him, his mother bringing him here, sure. And what happened before then? Show that. Why wouldn't they? That'd be a really cool way to, like, intro the game. But to me, this looks like I would expect Link 1998 to look like now. People are blinded by nostalgia. But it's not that. It's people like to just be stupid. Hope they show the mother scene too. Yeah, why wouldn't they? That'd be pretty cool. Like, because in this game, obviously, you start off with him in his treehouse. What else I wrote down here? But yeah, Wind Waker graphics keep. And do you remember? Did everybody ever see the tech demo? The 2000 GameCube tech demo? Does anybody remember that? What Link looked like there? It ain't too dissimilar to what Link looks like here. So, and people wanted that more realistic look. And now Link looks more realistic. They're all complaining about it. Shut up. Idiots. I liked it as my first Zelda game. Ocarina was a second. This art is more similar. Yeah. Yeah. But why wouldn't it be? They could, after the Forest Temple, were told how to... Yeah, I imagine they're going to be... This game is going to be more cinematic. I imagine there being more cutscenes and stuff like that, which I'm all down for. Why wouldn't there be? It's 2026. Yeah, Space to Old. I don't remember what it's called, but yeah, there was a tech demo back in the 2000s before, like, Wind Waker came out and stuff. And I think that's why people were so perplexed by Wind Waker's design, because the tech demo was so different. It looked like more like this. You missed the Wii U tech demo. I think that's what I'm on about. I think it's the Wii U one. I think it's GameCube. I think it was GameCube tech demo. where like he's fighting the big Link walks into, I think he walks into the Temple of Time, I think. And there is a, oh, what boss? There's like a boss in there. What boss is it? I can't remember, but he's fighting a boss. Anyway, so what are they like? Also, okay, what like, okay, what do I wrote here? What else I wrote? Why are we, is this more Deltarune? This is more Deltarune for some reason. Whatever, let's just leave it on. The big spider, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, that's it, yeah, yeah. The big Goma. You don't care for the Wind Waker art style? Yeah, I mean, I'm not a massive fan of the Wind Waker art style, but it's a great game. A lot of people just dismiss the game because of the art style. Okay, we talked about that. Get into space. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's the one I'm on about. Yeah, yeah. But he looks more like that. People loved that at the time, but now it's, you know, Wii was big. Yeah, it was the big Goma. Yeah. Talk about the logo color. We talked about that. We talked about the Triforce symbol appearing on his hand. The Unreal Engine does not look like Unreal Engine at all. You're stupid or rage baiting if you are saying that. Yeah. So also, like, a lot of people said, "Oh, I hope they don't change things and hope they don't make it like Breath of the Wild." They're not going to make it like Breath of the Wild at all. It's not going to be. I'd imagine that it being bigger. More things to do, but I would still say it's still going to be linear. It's still going to be, you know, you have to do things, collect all the 3 gems, or the, you know, Forest Temple, all that stuff is going to be the same. But I imagine they're going to add things, going to make it bigger, more people, more environments, towns, dialogue, voice acting, maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if there's voice acting. Doesn't bother me. Why would it? I'm so excited for the heartbeat. Yeah, yes. Think of, and that's one thing I was thinking about. This is what got me excited after the fact when I took time to digest. Yeah, the Dead Hand. Think of all the. This is what I wrote down here. Remake. Listen, this is some things I wrote down, which are things that I didn't think about when I initially saw the trailer or the teaser. Let's hope they keep the zombie. Of course, they're going to keep the Redeads. They're not. Look. They're not going to change any of that. They're going to have the Redeads. There's going to be under the in the well. There's going to be all of that. There's going to be Spirit Temple. It's all going to be there. They're not going to remove that. If anything, they may double down on it and make it even more horror or you know, scary. I'm sure they will. What do I think those green orbs may be? I think they're just fireflies or something. I think it's just fireflies or something like that. Blood in the Shadow Temple. Yeah, I think they could double down on the spook, because they know, especially like, look. And one thing I've noticed people haven't mentioned, which I haven't seen, but what if this game, in some way, because we don't know yet, green orbs of the forest energy. Yeah, sure. I guess, but I guess in the original you see a lot of the green stuff floating around as well. But like, what if? Now I don't think they'll do this, because Majora's Mask, they could, you know, put Majora's Mask as a completely separate game. But what if this game, once you beat the game, there's a DLC that you have to pay for, maybe? Who knows? But what if it just carries on? Link goes on his way. He comes back, warns Zelda about Ganondorf, goes on his way, and we end up, you know, meeting the Skull Kid, and we go into Majora's Mask. That is a potential. Now, they probably won't do that, because there's 2 ways they could do it, right? I don't think the Majora's Mask part of the game will be part of Ocarina of Time. But they could add it as a DLC, so they could release, because you think about it, they've got all the stuff there. All the stuff is going to be in this game, right? Because Majora's Mask is, you know, they use all the assets from Ocarina of Time, right? So there's all the stuff's going to be there. So I think what they'll do is it'll either be a DLC, or it'll be like next year or whatever, it'll be a new reborn Majora's Mask. What if they're going to add cutscene that leads to downfall timeline? I don't know. I don't know how they're going to address like the timeline stuff. Maybe they won't. Maybe they won't address timeline stuff and just keep it a bit like kind of ambiguous like it already is. But yeah, so this is why I wrote down about stuff that, you know, to look forward to within the remake. Music. Everybody knows the music's going to be 10 out of 10 because Zelda always has great music. In my opinion, the best Zelda music, some of the best Zelda music is Skyward Sword. Talking to Skyward Sword, it's playing right now. That's quite good timing. I think Skyward Sword has some of the best music. Although all the Zelda games have great music. The environments, the characters, the dungeons, extra dungeons maybe, side quests, side dungeons, hidden areas, caves in Hyrule Field. Who knows, right? Maybe you can explore Castletown more. Castletown could be massive. Shops to go into, vendors, side quests in there. You know, think of Majora's Mask. The one thing I really like about Majora's Mask is I think the side quests are so good. And I think they could do that in this game. I don't mean for masks, but think of all the people you can go and see in Castletown, right? All the quests you could do. I imagine they're going to add stuff like that. What else we got? Voice acting, maybe. New quests, side quests, extra dungeons, maybe. A potential of Majora's Mask remake or something along those lines, or incorporating it into this game some way. But yeah, I really doubt they'll do that. They'll do it as a separate game, I think. This is all I've wanted since I was 10. First beat Ocarina of Time. Exactly. And I think people making these rash assumptions based on this. How long is this trailer? Well, this teaser's 1 minute and 37 seconds long. That doesn't include this part here. So there we go. There. 1 minute and 35 seconds long this teaser is, and people are already making these crazy assumptions. Majora's Mask will probably get its own... Yeah, I'd imagine it would get its own game or a DLC to this game. Good deal with the timer stuff. There was plans to another game, but yeah, I know there's something to do with Sheik. Yeah, maybe we'll get more. Maybe we'll get more to do with the Sheik in this game. Obviously, we know who Sheik is. Do you think they're gonna add the Light Temple? Was that a scrap dungeon or something? I'm not aware of that. Gaming with Retro Bob. What a name. Doing pretty well. I've just been ranting. How long have I been streaming for already? An hour. I've been ranting for an hour about idiots online complaining about Ocarina of Time Remake. But yeah, sure, they could add extras. I wouldn't be surprised if they add new dungeons. It wouldn't surprise me at all. The Light Medallions really... Oh, okay then. Yeah, why not? I want them to make the game how they envisioned it 30 years ago. Every single thought they had, now is the time to put it in. Yeah, and I just feel like, why can't we just have to wait and see? All the stuff I've said is just criticizing what people are complaining about. And people are complaining about stupid things. And look, yes, it is weird seeing Link in this art style initially, but it's unique and it looks like what I would imagine this version of Link to look like. So, you know. And this is, and if you think of Zelda games, they all have their own style. They don't, well, I guess not all Zelda games don't look different. If you want to think of Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons, and Link's Awakening DX, yes, they all look the same because it's the same, you know, graphics or whatever, right? But I'm on about, especially the 3D Links, right? 3D Zelda games. The voice in the teaser could be Rauru or the King of Hyrule. Possibly, but it does sound like, obviously, they're talking about it in the past. It says, long ago, there was a land called Hyrule. So, obviously, whoever's reading this is telling the tale of this story. Also, I've seen online as well, I saw this today, that someone said, I hope they don't make Rauru in this game look... change Rauru in this game to be the Rauru in Tears of the Kingdom. As if they're the same person. I haven't seen I mention the bees on Link's hat. Well, we've already spoke about that. He does have beads on his hat, assuming that is his hat. it does look like a hat. So yeah, right here. It's not strange, is what Nintendo would have made if it knew hardware. Yeah, exactly. No, I just mean that my initial reaction was strange. I was like, oh, wow. My initial was, oh, wow, Link looks strange. Because I said it near the start of the stream that in my mind, when I think of Child Link, I have the image of Ocarina of Time and Ocarina of Time 3D's Link in my mind. You know, it's the first time I saw Ocarina of Time Link was nearly 30 years ago. So, and I was a child. So when you have that in your mind, in my mind, that's what he looked like. But when I gave it 5 minutes of thought, I was like, look, this actually does look like what I think Link would look like. Now, you know, now. I regret Sword Arts. Yeah, I think they could do that, especially with the hero Shade being this version of Link. This is, he becomes the hero Shade in Twilight Princess. I'm really happy it's a huge, yeah, and also this is all we've seen. We haven't seen him moving, we haven't seen the environments, we haven't seen him in combat, we haven't seen him interacting with other characters, we haven't seen what Ganondorf looks like, we haven't seen what the, you know, the King Zora looks like, we haven't seen Malon, we haven't seen Talon, we haven't seen Epona, we haven't seen the Kakiri, we haven't seen anything. All we've seen is this little boy asleep and he twitches and makes a noise for 18 seconds. That's all we've seen. So yeah, the leather's cool. Yeah, I think this is a cool design. I like this design. It's cool. The graphics do remind you of Hyrule Warriors. Well, I see a lot of people say that, but if you like, I can see why you would say that. But I do think it's a big stretch. It's like the same people online are saying this looks like Unreal Engine 5. It really doesn't. If you just take a moment to look at it more, we haven't seen anything besides this 18-second clip of Link. But I can see why you would say that, because Hyrule Warriors Link does have a more realistic appearance, so to speak. But yeah, that man meme. Yeah, what is that? Because somebody made a Unreal Engine. Like, I've seen the Unreal Engine stuff, and people think it. Do you know what's really funny about this Unreal Engine stuff? Is I remember there was one Unreal Engine 5 demo of someone made of Link running through Hyrule Field. I don't know who did it, and I thought it looked terrible. And not because it didn't look graphically great, because it didn't look like the Legend of Zelda game. It just graphically didn't look like it. This looks like Link from a Legend of Zelda game. This does not look like Unreal Engine. And I can get that straight away. Well, I didn't get it straight away, but after thinking about it for 5 minutes, when I first saw it, I was like, I can see this is Link. This is Link to me. This is Child Link. When I look at this Link now, I think of 1998 Link. I think of 2011 Link, whenever 3DS game came out. You were sorry, I don't normally talk this much. My throat's dry. You saw someone make, look, I've seen some of the Unreal Engine stuff, and just I wouldn't know how to make that. I wouldn't know what I'm doing, and these people are obviously very talented, right? And very clever. But it just didn't look like Zelda. This looks like a Legend. This looks like Link. This looks like Link from a Legend of Zelda game. And I can get that from this short thingy. But I still need to see more. We need to see Link doing stuff. What does he sound like? What does he move like? What does he look like when he's wielding the Kakiri sword and the shield? What does he look like? And other people online saying, oh, why is Link left-handed in this game? Link was always left-handed before Skyward Sword. Oh no, actually, he was left-handed in Twilight Princess. Duh, no, he wasn't. Do your research. I think they'll remake Super Mario 64. Yeah, sure, why not? Better camera, better camera on that one. Now you may, talking of Skyward, sorry, we talk about Link's hand. He's, people are saying that why is he left-handed? Will they make him right-handed? No, Link is left-handed. Stop with nonsense. Link was first right-handed canonically in Skyward Sword. Now, people say, yeah, but he was right-handed in Twilight Princess. No, he wasn't. the Wii version of Twilight Princess was not canon, because all they did is took the GameCube version and they flipped the map. They flipped it. That's all they did, is flipped everything, because obviously the majority of people are right-handed. So when you're swinging the nunchucks or swinging the controller or whatever, it'll be more natural to see Link with his right hand. So, but canonically, Twilight Princess Link is left-handed. He's not right-handed. He wasn't in Twilight Princess. The Wii version of it came after. Well, that's what I'm saying. But Twilight Princess Wii version of Link is not canon. He's only right-handed because of the Wii controls. As a lefty myself, I'm happy left-handed. Yeah, my Link is left-handed. When I think of Link, I think of Link's Awakening Link, even though you don't really see, but if you look at the artwork, he's left-handed. Ocarina of Time Link, Majora's Mask Link, Wind Waker Link, Twilight Princess Link, they're all left-handed. The Twilight Princess game was delayed multiple times. I actually watched a documentary on YouTube about Twilight Princess recently, or somewhat recently. But yeah, so people are saying, oh, are they going to make Link... I hope they don't make Link right-handed in this game. No. And all you need to know if Link's going to be left-handed is this. This symbol, as we all know, is the Triforce, or the Mark of the Hero, or whatever you want to call this symbol right now. It's not the Triforce of Courage. This is just the symbol of the Triforce appearing on his hand because he's the hero. This symbol only appears on the dominant hand of Link. So if you look at Skyward Sword Link, for example, it's on his right hand. I can't believe I've seen this game. Yeah, I was shocked it's coming out this year, but I'm also shocked they've only shown this. But yeah, this is always on Link's dominant hand. Da da da. I can't believe soon we'll get a Zelda themed direct. Yeah, but I hope they show. Obviously, they're going to show more stuff, but I don't want them to show too much. Show us what Kokiri Forest looked like. Let us listen to what it sounds like, and let us see what it looks like, and then that's it. And then we can play it. That's that. That's all I want. Hope it doesn't get delayed. Didn't have a season accompanying a year. No, it just said this year, but normally, I mean, hopefully not. I mean, I think if they're confident enough to say this year, they're probably, near, well in development. So I don't think if they, I mean, to be fair, Tears of the Kingdom got delayed, didn't it? But that's a different, that's a different story, Tears of the Kingdom. But yeah, I'm excited about this. I mean, November, I would say October or November. A lot of people saying like, it won't come out in October because, GTA 6 is coming. Oh, who gives a I'm sorry. I'm just going to say this. I apologize if I don't try not to swear too much on my streams just because they didn't need it. But I'm going to do it. Who gives a fuck about GTA 6? And why is everybody online saying, oh, games are scared to come out because GTA 6 is coming? Who cares? I hope GTA 6 flops. Why? Because it'll be funny. It's the harder game. They can't afford to. Yeah, I think it will. I think it will. I don't think they would say it's coming out this year without them being confident, knowing that it's basically done. But like a lot of people, who cares about I talking to GTA 6, right? By the way, I like GTA. I played GTA since the original on the PlayStation. GTA, the original. Like GTA 1, GTA 2, GTA London, Vice City, GTA 3, GTA 4, whatever, right? I played them all. And we've been waiting for GTA 6 for like 4 million years at this point. But like, everybody's going on about like, oh, every game is going to fail because of GTA 6. And don't get me wrong, GTA 6 is going to be massive. All these big streamers are going to be streaming it. You look on Twitch, people like Shroud and Summit1G and Asmongold, all these big streamers are going to be streaming it. And it's going to have millions of viewers. But I hope it flops. Because I just think it'd be hilarious. I wonder if it'll get shadow dropped with minimal marketing. I think it's one of those games that everyone knows. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Nintendo, I don't think so, because I think they want Nintendo like to put their pre-orders out. The Cockroach King himself, Asmongold, yeah. I like Asmongold because he says stuff and he doesn't care. He just says it. He doesn't care what anybody says about him. I think we'll get a full blowout before release. I think what they're going to do is they're going to maybe in like July, August time, August, September, we're going to get maybe we're going to get more little tidbits like leading up, and then we're going to get like a full gameplay trailer, and it's going to be like pre-order now on the Nintendo eShop, releasing in blah blah blah. That's what we're going to get, and that's that. But like I say, I hope they don't show too much. I just want them to give us the feeling of this game, what it's all about, because I think a lot of people are going to go into this game thinking, oh, it's Ocarina of Time, it's a remake, it's going to be like the 3DS version. And people are saying, oh, why are we getting a second remake of Ocarina of Time? No, this is the first remake. This is a reimagining remake of Ocarina of Time. This isn't Ocarina of Time 3D, where, yes, they remade it. It's not the same game, but it's basically an upscaled version with a few differences, but it's basically an upscaled version of the N64 game. This is a reimagining. It's a remake. I wouldn't say it's reimagining. They use the term reborn. Take that as you are. Zelda fans always want this kind of Zelda. Yeah, I think they're gonna make it. Like I say, it's gonna be big. It's gonna be not as big as scale as Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, but they're gonna make Hyrule big with more to do. But the main story of the game is going to be the same, because why they will not change it. They know how important this game is. They won't change it. They're not stupid over. They know touching this game. That's why I was kind of shocked they're actually remaking it, because I'm like, they know how big this game is and how important it is to people and gaming in general. So they must know. They know not to ruin it. They know what they're doing. I have faith in Nintendo to know what they're doing. And yes, it's probably not Nintendo that's developing it, but you know, Nintendo are going to have a massive influence, just like they did on what's it called, the Age of Imprisonment. That wasn't made by Nintendo, but it was heavily the story was heavily overlooked by, you know, I don't know if it's Aonuma or anybody, but whoever at Nintendo. 3D was a remaster. Yeah, it was a remaster, but it was a remake, but it was basically a remaster of the original, because it wasn't the same game upscaled. It was remade, but it was basically a remake, not one-to-one, but it was a remake of the original. This is a full-blown remake of the game. I'm glad it's not cell shaded. Yeah, I'm glad it looks unique. I think if they would have come out and it looked like Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild, people would have, and I would agree with them. Yes, that shouldn't be. Because each Zelda game needs to be unique, and this game needs to be unique, but it also needs to feel familiar. And I think they did a very good job. Well, I mean, they did a very good job straight away.
This kingdom, and called Hyrule, created by beings of supreme divinity.
There we go. That's all they need to do. We know what it was. As soon as they did, they know. Look, okay, hold on. What is this? What the hell is this song? Spirit Tracks. I never played Spirit Tracks. Get off. All they need to do. Look, I have full faith that Nintendo or whatever, whoever's developing this game, I have full faith that they are going to do this game justice just by this. That's all I needed. That was a nice touch there. And if you heard that, you knew exactly what it was. Saria's song. Straight away, like that. You know what it is.
At the very
in here as well. Here, too. Saria's song again. And then if you listen...
An ancient tree quietly watched over the inhabitants of the forest.
There it is, Saria's song again. Yeah, and then when he mentions the Kokiri, you hear the Kokiri forest sound, music. That gives me extreme confidence that they're going to do good on this game. Remake is a great way to reset Zelda and bring back the just yeah. And look, I've my gripes with I've talked about Tears of the Kingdom and not so much Breath of the Wild, but Tears of the Kingdom bothered me story wise, and I ain't gonna go into it here because I spoke about it before on other streams when I've played through like Tears of the Kingdom, for example, recently. I have problems with how they did Tears of the Kingdom. I like the open world. This is what I said. What I thought Tears of the Kingdom was going to be. Open world, so big Hyrule and Breath. You can go and explore and all this, but I was so shocked that they allowed you to go. I know it was difficult to get to Ganondorf, but you could go and just like in Breath of the Wild, you could go to Calamity Ganon straight away, right? I thought in Tears of the Kingdom they're going to make it so like in traditional Zelda games, right? Think of I'll just go Link's Awakening again. What's the objective in Link's Awakening? Wake the Windfish. What do you have to do to wake the Windfish? Go through the game, collect 8 instruments of the sirens. Once you collect the 8 instruments, you play the Ballad of the Windfish. It opens the egg. You can fight the Nightmare Undeathel inside the egg. You have to collect those 8 unless you do cheats and glitches, whatever. We're not talking about glitches. The story is you collect the 8 instruments, then you can go and fight the final boss. Now, I thought Tears of the Kingdom was going to be similar in that way where, okay, sure, you can go and tackle whatever you want first. You could go to Gerudo's, you could go to Zora, you could go wherever first, but you had to collect the 4 tiers. This before we knew what Tears of the Kingdom meant. Obviously now Tears of the Kingdom meant it was the dragons. It was, spoiler alert, by the way, if you haven't played Tears of the Kingdom, but the light dragon, we know who that is. Tears of the Kingdom are the light dragon shedding tears around the kingdom with the memories in. That's what Tears of the Kingdom means. It's not the stones. But before the game came out, I think a lot of people saw the shape of the stones and thought they looked like teardrops. Tears of the Kingdom. So my thought was, okay, you have to collect these 4 Tears of the Kingdom, and then you can go and fight Ganondorf, the big bad Ganondorf, right? First time we've seen Ganondorf in, I don't know, when was the last time you saw Ganondorf in a Zelda game? What? Twilight Princess? And then not counting Demise. Yeah, Demise is Ganondorf, kind of, blah, blah, whatever. And I'm not talking about Ganon and Calamity Ganon. I'm on about Ganondorf, the Gerudo Ganondorf, right? And I thought it was like a big thing, but then it was just like, no, you can just go and fight him if you want. It's like, oh, that's kind of weird to me. Now, what I thought they could have done is make it like this. What they could do with this game is make it big, make it like, big, make it, open world, and you can go and explore Hyrule Field and Castle Town and go to Zora's Domain. There's loads of things to do, and go to Kakariko Village, and it's massive, and there's loads of people to talk to, and quests and shops and just vibrancy, right? But you still have to go and, you have to go inside the Deku Tree and defeat Goma inside the Deku Tree, and you have to collect the things and do this. You still have to do that, but you can go and explore things, right? But you still have to do and collect the things to beat the game. That's why I think they could do it. And that's why I thought Tears of the Kingdom was going to be, but it wasn't. It was just sort of like, yeah, well, you can just still go and fight Ganondorf again. I was like, and the fact that you can, the thing that always bothered me as well. The thing that always bothered me about the newer iterations, you don't need the, okay, you get the Master Sword to fight the dragon version of Ganon, the dark demon dragon, what the hell it's called. But to fight Ganondorf, you do not need to use the Master Sword. That bothers me as a Zelda fan. You think of Zelda, what you do in most Zelda games, you start off with the wooden sword, then you get this hero sword, for example, then you work towards you pulling the Master Sword, and that is what's going to seal Ganondorf. You have to have this sword. But in these later games, you don't need the sword, and that bothers me. Now, in retrospect, in Breath of the Wild, I can see why you don't need the Master Sword, because that isn't... Calamity Ganon is basically he's a manifestation of malice. He isn't a physical being, really. But if you know the story of Breath of the Wild, Ganon was trying to create a body and it got cut short, and then they fight the Calamity Ganon, right? But Calamity Ganon and all the Blight Ganons are all made up of malice. They're not really, and the big pig Dark Beast Ganon is the Phantom Ganon. They're basically all Phantom Ganons. That's all they are. So I can kind of understand in that retrospect going, okay, well, you don't need the Master Sword for that. But when you're fighting the Gerudo King, you're fighting Ganondorf, and you don't need the Master Sword, to me, that bothers me as a Zelda fan. In the real game, the Master Sword doesn't break. Yeah, or run out of energy. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, let's... thanks for being here, but I apologize if I've... this has been, like, all over the place, and this has not been... I did write all these notes here, which... I don't do this stuff, and I just felt like I had to, because I'm passionate about Zelda, and I just feel like... I'm a nobody. I'm not a streamer. I'm not a big content creator. I don't claim to be, but I know my Zelda, and I've streamed... I think I've got like nearly 200 streams of Zelda on my channel. And I've been playing Zelda for 32 years, roughly, give or take. So I kind of know what I'm talking about for the most part. But like, I apologize if it's been all over the place. It's just that I didn't know how to structure this. I just thought I'd write stuff down and go split it out. But I appreciate whoever's here, you know, all people that have tuned into this. I appreciate it. I think my turn. Breath of the Wild and Tears are great open world games, but awful Zelda games. I wouldn't agree with that necessarily. I still feel like I'm playing a Zelda game, but I see what you're saying because it's not traditional Zelda. I guess you could say the same about Echoes of Wisdom, right? Echoes of Wisdom is kind of a game that I kind of forgot about. And before anybody says it, oh, it's because you're playing as a woman. A lot of people say, oh, it's because you're playing as a woman. You're playing as a woman. No, I don't care. You're playing as Link. It's the same gameplay, but the same thing. Echoes of Wisdom kind of like, it was good and I enjoyed it in the world. I thought it was cool, especially being a Link's Awakening fan. And it's in the same style as the remake of Link's Awakening. I was like, oh man, this is pretty cool to look at. And the mechanics are like, you know, pretty cool. But Echoes of Wisdom was a fun experience. I enjoyed the story, but I don't think it's a game that I could go back and want to play again. Well, I did enjoy it though. But in that sense, yeah, that was not really a Zelda game, in my opinion. But it wasn't. I still felt like I was in the world, but it's like playing Hyrule Warriors, things like that. It's actually, Hyrule Warriors is a bit different, to be fair, but you're playing since the release of Zelda 1 on the NES. So my first game was Link's Awakening. I've actually still got... Hold on. One moment. So, oh God, it's warm in here. So I've actually still got. Now this is probably not like some people that collect things, but I've actually still got my original. Wait, I don't know if you can see this. I've still got my original Link's Awakening in its little Game Boy cartridge, from like 1994, 1995. It's the exact same game. I wish I had the box still. And I also have my original, which I forgot I had, my original Oracle of Seasons, which I bought Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages at the same time in 2001. And I lost my Oracle of Ages, but I still have Seasons. I don't know if these games still work. I don't have a Game Boy, but I would love to buy a Game Boy and see if they worked. I thought it'd be quite funny because I've not played this version of Link's Awakening, this cartridge version, probably since the year 2000, something like that. I've not played this. So it'd be quite funny if this worked to see like my old save files. I thought it'd be quite funny to see. I love Link's Awakening, but the remake, the terrible looking claymation. I think it looked great. I think it was like whimsical because, spoilers, you're in a dream world, right? You're living in a dream world, Neo. You need to watch A Hero's Purpose. Is that fan made though? One second. I'm aware there's a black screen right now. Just give me one moment. I would like to launch this, please. I would like to go full screen. And I would like to do this. Just found my channel today. Well, I appreciate that. I don't normally do this kind of stuff, but you know, I was inspired to talk about this because I've just seen so much crap online about it, and I know my opinion doesn't really mean much. I'm not a massive content creator or anything like that. I don't claim to be, but I felt like I had to say something because it's just annoying. People are just annoying. Also, I always call my... If any Zelda game where you can name yourself, I always call myself Link. I'm always Link and it's always Epona. Hey, where's the intro? Oh yeah, I forgot it skips the intro. To rant like another guy, watch... what kind of skill upgrade world map beside me should be like... Ocarina of Time remake, what characters going to have? Well, I don't know. But I hope this... I imagine there's all a bunch of new side quests and stuff. Hello, Saria. So just imagine what this is going to look like in the remake. And sound like. Like, I can't envisage it. I think it's going to look amazing. Recomp is... Yeah, I'm obviously playing on the Ship of Harkinian. I've done a full playthrough of this version. Like a year and a half ago. Hey! I can't wait to hear Navi again. But yeah, imagine just try and take... I can't because I can't imagine it, but just try and take your mind to what this is going to be like in the remake. But also as well, like, I've never been ashamed of saying this. Ocarina of Time isn't my favorite Zelda game. And it's not my favorite 3D Zelda game. It's not my favorite Zelda game. But I understand, but that doesn't mean I don't like it. It's just, it's not my favorite. But I'm excited for the remake. Now, this version of the game does make it more appealing to me. Also, the 3D version does. But yeah. Do you think the voice in the remake is a Deku Tree? I don't know. I don't know because it could be, or it could just be. It could just be for the trailer. We don't know, but I doubt it because if you listen to the dialogue, it's very similar to what a Deku Tree says at the start of this game. It'll be different, enhanced, and more shape detail. Run at 60 FPS. Well, I would hope it runs at 60 FPS. I highly doubt it won't be 60 FPS. It's possible you know what happens to it. Well, I understand. I know what happens to the Deku Tree, yes. So, if he's talking in the past... Hey, get out of the way. If he's talking about in the past, then it'd be kind of... Whoa, nice lag. But yeah, so I don't know who it is. It could be Kaepora Gaebora. Who's Kaepora Gaebora? Do your research! Everybody knows who Kaepora Gaebora is if you've played Ocarina of Time. But yeah. Ocarina of Time is not my favorite 3D Zelda game. I actually think Majora's Mask is better than this game. This version. I think Majora's Mask is better. In my opinion, I prefer Majora's Mask for most parts. But my favorite 3D Zelda game for the longest time was Twilight Princess. Legend of Zelda fan knows more story than other game or beginner. Well, yeah, true. I mean, you can say that about any game though, right? If I started trying to talk lore about, I don't know, the Call of Duty Zombies series, you'd be like, what? You might not know what I'm on about if you're not familiar with the lore of the Call of Duty Zombies. So, if you're a fan of something and you're invested in it, you're obviously going to know about it. Do you think we'll see Gandalf cough up blood in better graphics now? Well, yeah, I assume so. But I always forget what you do at the start of Ocarina of Time. You need to get the sword and shield, right? To get past, is that Fido? Or what's his name over there? Fido? I forget. You have to have the sword and shield, right? Yeah, just try and imagine this. What this is going to... Like, look at this here. How... You know, looking back at it, you know how... I mean, this is not even the original. This is a PC port of the game. Imagine what this is going to look like and feel like in a remake. Think of how, like... The trees are going to be, like, overcast. It's going to be more overcast. It's going to be gloomy. But, you know, cheerful. There's going to be the music and all the people around. Look at the houses. All the houses made out of tree stumps and everything like that. How cool is that? How cool that's going to look. Majora's Mask is great. It always seemed like it could have been a DLC for Ocarina of Time. Well, it basically is. But if you think about it, in this day and age, you would see it, you would call it a DLC. Anime Expo 2026 gonna have sneak peek of new game trailer. Not sure what it'll be. Anime Expo. So I'm not really in the anime scene, but I don't think they would. I don't think they would show a. I don't think they'll show a new trailer for a Zelda game at an Anime Expo, especially when, you know, I feel like they're going to show it as something like maybe like Nintendo do another like Direct or like a Treehouse or something like that, where they show the gameplay. I don't think they'll do it as something like an Anime Expo specifically, with it being such a. I know like anime isn't, you know, a lot of people watch anime, but not everybody. I just feel like it's not the right place to show gameplay of this game or the remake. Hope Ganon's blood is red. Well, you'd hope so. But what am I doing? I need... How many rupees is it for the shield? Is it 40 rupees? How do I get... I need 40 rupees, man. Is it 40 or is it 30? Which one's the shop? I forget. This one's the shop, isn't it? How much is the shield? Damn it. Oh wait, isn't there money behind here? I need 5 rupees. It is 40, okay. Alright, well I need 5 more rupees. There we go. But I don't plan on doing another full playthrough of this game. I'm just playing it now because of the context of the stream. But if anybody's interested in any of my Zelda playthroughs, I have like a full playlist of every Zelda game besides Zelda 2, Zelda 1, Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass, Triforce Heroes, and like 4 Swords and things like that. But every other Zelda game, there is a full playthrough on my channel if anybody's ever interested in that. Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword HD, or Twilight Princess HD, Ocarina of Time 3D, Majora's Mask 3D, Breath of the Wild twice, Tears of the Kingdom twice. What else is there? Link's Awakening, many Link's Awakening streams. I've done quite a few of Link's Awakening randomized, which is pretty fun. Oh wait, I need to equip my shield. I don't think they're going to keep the blood in. I hope I'm wrong. I think they're going to wait, I've got a sword and shield. What are you on about? Wait, I got the others. Wait. Can't I get by if I got a sword and shield? I'm confused. I know you can get by him by glitching around him, but we're not doing that. I think they may lean into the sort of creepiness and like the not so much gore, but you know, I don't think it's not going to be like overly bloody like a big, you know, horror fest or anything like that. But yeah, I can see them leaning into more of the spooky stuff, like the Spirit Temple and all that. Wait, why can I just go in the Deku Tree? Wait, have I got like a setting on which like... I think I've got a setting on that's like skips all the cutscenes. Oh my god, I have. Let's take all those off, man. Why are they on? In 3DS to make Ganon's blood green. Your sons are in their 30s now, but you raise them on video games. Beat Ocarina of Time at age 3 and 5. Wow. That's impressive. I mean, I only beat Ocarina of Time. I mean, I beat Ocarina of Time as a kid, but I only really beat Ocarina of Time again relatively recently. I think about maybe like 18 months ago, I did a stream on it. Hello? Hey, listen. Hey! Yes, Navi, what do you want? Yeah, I see it. Don't worry. But yeah, I mean, I'm 37 now. Which is kind of scary to say, actually. It's kind of... I'm only recently 37. But, like I said, I've been playing Zelda since I was 4 or 5 years old. So it's very much ingrained in me. I've always loved Zelda. Chew on that. Yeah, thanks. Get out of here. He coughed up red blood in the original. Like I say, I can see them going more like that, in that way. Da-na-na-na. Alright, so I've mapped the... No. There we go. I've mapped the C buttons to my LB and RB on my controller. So I can do this. Oh, there's no motion controls. What? Where's my motion controls at? Oh, hold on. I know why. One sec. So, forget motion controls to work. I've got this controller here. It's like a multi-controller. You can use it for like Switch, Switch 2, and Xbox and whatever. But for these types of games, for it to recognize motion, you have to set it as a Switch controller. Oh, where's the... Is it? Oh no! I think I've lost the little receiver. I'm gonna blame my cats for that. I've lost the little receiver for the wireless. Never mind, we'll leave it there. No motion controls. I was one of the first people to beat Zelda 1 back in the days. Sent timestamp mail. Wow. Do you remember, like, I wasn't that I wasn't that thing into it, but like I remember, like, I don't think you did it in the UK. I think it was more like an American thing. But like, if you wanted help on something, you have to like didn't you have to ring a phone line? Do you have to ring a phone line to like get a hint or something? I started playing games at 7 in 1980 with the Atari 2600. My first console I can remember is my older brother or sister, one of the two, had had a Commodore 64. And then my older brother, got a Game Boy, which then got me into Zelda, Tetris, Super Mario Land. How did I get down there? I forgot how you get down there. And that would have been in like 1994 or 5. And then my first actual console was a Sega Mega Drive. But if you're an American or North American or whatever, you will know the Sega Mega Drive as the Sega Genesis for whatever reason. You lot decide to change names on things for whatever reason. But yeah, so I had a Sega Mega Drive / Genesis was my first console. My own console I got when I was 6. And I got Sonic the Hedgehog 2 with it. But before that, it was Link's Awakening, Tetris, Super Mario Land. There's this creepy Prince of Persia game that used to scare me on the Game Boy as well. It used to scare me for whatever reason. I don't remember why, but it did. That would have been in like 1990... Ow. 1994 or 5. Sculpture. Nintendo Gameplay Counselor, when I was offered a job doing that, the call was free at first, but later it charged. It's kind of crazy to think about it now, isn't it? Like, if you just want anything, you can just go online and Google it. There's a guide for everything. There's a guide, there's a web page for literally anything you want. You can find it. But back then, it was a different story. Wait, have I got any Deku sticks? I do. Oh, that just opened the door. Okay. I'll put it away. What? Banana. Okay. But yeah, just imagine what all this is going to look like. Well, I can't imagine what it's going to look like because we don't really know what the game looks like yet. Yeah, the first issue of Nintendo Power in 1988. It's kind of mad that. You had that before I was born. Yeah, I can imagine them talking about like the remake. I can imagine them using like the hidden powers and stuff like that. Like this Link learning them. Maybe. That'd be cool. Dragon Warrior was new Nintendo, gave it to us for free. Be a Nintendo Power subscriber. You wouldn't get that nowadays. Anything for free. For the most part, anyway. Did I... Wait. Oh, what am I doing? Da-da-la-da. What do I do here? Oh, yeah. Classic. No, wrong button. Stupid Deku scrub. You are a traitor. I just gotta wait to, like, what the game's gonna sound like and stuff. That Nintendo banned as original hardcore gamers when they released the Wii. Yeah, I think it's just like, oh crap. Oh. What do I do here again? Yeah, I think it's just different time zone, it as well. I forgot what I do here. Oh, I don't know why I forgot I could just dive down there. So I'm not as familiar with Ocarina of Time than I am with other Zelda games. Imagine what the sculptures are going to look like. We're after the casuals, yeah. I think all of them did though, really. Gaming definitely is not the same as it used to be. Oi. But that's good again. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people as well, like, talking of game, like, not, just got nothing to do with what we've been talking about, but talking about, like, the price of games now. And people complaining about how expensive games are. I must admit, Nintendo are quite expensive, but plus Nintendo don't really ever have any sales on, right? You never really see Nintendo have sales, like something like Steam, for example. Oops, I did not mean to jump forward. Yeah. You ever watch the speedrun of this game? Yeah, like well, I don't remember these guys. I love watching speedruns of Zelda games. It blows my mind of the stuff that they do. Nintendo got everything those major when I was growing up, Nintendo got everything most major third parties started on NES. It's kind of crazy, like, even just going back to, like, you know, the Nintendo Online stuff you can use. See, I know I can play this game on my Switch through the N64 emulator or whatever. But if I'm honest with you, I don't think it's very good. Because why would I play, like, an emulated version on the DS? Not DS, sorry, Switch. At, like, 20 FPS with input lag. When I can play it on here at 200 and, I mean, I've got it at 244 FPS at 4K. I know it's got nothing to do with what you were talking about, by the way. No. Grab. There we go. Wait, what's the second dungeon in Ocarina of Time? I forgot. I don't remember. The only thing has input, like, yeah, exactly. It's not so bad with the older titles, like say like the Sega titles or whatever, but the N64 is really bad. Oh, what is this code? I forgot what this is. Is it 213? I forgot what it is. Is it 213? What is it? Is it two? What is this order again? I forgot. It literally just told me and I forgot. Oh, 231, not 213. I know it literally just told me, but I... Oh, thanks for that. Oi! Ready? Da-da! Da-da! Get out of here. The Queen Goma. You'd like to see a 3D remake of Zelda 2. Now that would be interesting. Zelda 2 is a game I've never played. Oh, I've never played it. I've never seriously played it. Just because it's very different. It's really not my style of game at all. The Dodongo's... Oh, then you've got Jabu Jabu's Belly, right? Yeah, Dodonna's Cavern, then Jabby Jabby's Belly, which I'm not a fan of Jabby Jabby's Belly. I can't stand escorting Ruta around, whatever her name is. Capcom bring more Resident Evil Switch 2. We'll see in 2027. Well, they're bringing the Code Veronica remake to Switch 2. And you can play Resident Evil Requiem on there as well. But I use it. Get back here. Watch out. They're changing a lot about Code Veronica. I never played the first one, or the original, sorry. I was contemplating like trying to emulate it, because I know you can like emulate it on like a PS2 emulator or something like that. But I'm like, I think I'll just wait until the remake comes out. So I did speedrun Resident Evil Requiem for a little while. I did a full playthrough of it, and then I decided to speedrun it. Hey, I haven't done it for a while, but right now I'm like 4 minutes off the world record in the category I was doing, which is not bad considering I've never speedrun a game before. But I do like my Resident Evil. Why the music keeps cutting out. Wishing to do a Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. What do you mean? What about Link's Awakening? A remake? They already did. The Wicked Man of the Desert. Rest in peace, Mr. Tree. Imagine what this is gonna look like in the remake. Ganondorf riding his steed. Resident Evil 2 on the N64 was your favorite. The remake changed all the rooms, the police station made it takes too many bullets to kill a zombie. Well, I guess like the remakes are very different style, aren't they? The old games. Especially 2 and 3. I think Resident Evil 4 is different still, but it's not as different just because of like the camera angle and with it being third person, whatever. The Golden Goddess descended onto Hyrule. Link's Awakening for DLC update. Oh, you want them to do a DLC for Link's Awakening? So that'd have to be a new thing then, because there is no extra story after Link's Awakening. The Golden Goddesses. Nehru, Din and Faror. You think 4 Remake was okay? So I played Resident Evil 4 Remake before I played the original. And recently, like a month ago, I did a playthrough of the original. Well, I say the original. I modded it a little bit. I modded so the camera wasn't so... I made it the camera a little more easy to use for me, and there was other like quality of life changes to it. But it basically was the original, and I enjoyed both, but I can see why people have a they prefer the original to the remake. I can see why that is after playing the original. I like both. Now, Resident Evil 3, I've never played the original Resident Evil 3, but when I played Resident Evil 3 Remake, I was kind of shocked by how short it was. And second of all, I always, bear in mind, I never played the original at the time. I always felt like there was something missing from it. Like, it felt like stuff was missing. It turns out there's quite a fair amount missing from the remake than there was in the original. Like, was it a clock tower and stuff like that? But yeah, even as me playing it without knowing, it did feel like stuff was missing. Yeah, I was never really into Resident Evil. Wasn't really my style of game when I was a kid. I didn't really play like horror games or zombie games or whatever, but I really got into Resident Evil and Resident Evil 7. When people like used to watch playthroughs of it, like PewDiePie and all that. Like back in like 2017 or whatever. I really got into Resident Evil 7, and then loved Resident Evil Village, then Resident Evil 2 Remake as well, 4 Remake. Wasn't a big fan of 3 Remake that much. And then spent a lot of time playing Requiem. As far as mods, there's mods out there that fix everything that's wrong with RE2 Remake and actually makes the remake we should have got. Yeah, I've never played any mods for the remake, but I played the base remake a fair amount. You can see Nintendo do Bash Crandaboot. What the hell is Bash Crandaboot? Crash Bandicoot, Simpsons Hit and Run, and Bradley the Badger. Well, can't you already play Crash Bandicoot on the Switch? I don't know what Bradley the Badger is, though. Why's the Deku Tree's twitching in his death? Yeah, can't you already play Crash Bandicoot on the Switch? Yeah, he's dead. Get out of here. Resident Evil 7 had a PT or Silent Hill vibe. Yeah, obviously it was a very very different to what the previous entries were, with it being especially first person as well. Yeah, what do you want, Navi? Just imagine what this is going to look like. Yeah, I have full faith that the remake's going to be incredible. This game. That they're not going to mess it up. Hopefully I'm not made to eat my words in 5 months or whatever, whenever it comes out. Because I'll be streaming it. I will be streaming it as soon as it's out. Whatever that is. Resident Evil 9 is fun. Yeah, I speed ran it for a couple of, like 2 months. I speed ran, what category did I speed run? The new game, casual, no intro, no orphanage. I was 4 minutes off the world record, but I was like, I don't think I can get it. It was like I was like losing my mind trying to get runs, because obviously once you get better and better at it, the margin for error is smaller and smaller. So the slightest mistake you make, you're gonna ruin your run. You can't wait for the Ocarina of Time remake. Well, if it is coming out this year, we ain't got long to wait. But just imagine not on the size of, not, hey, isn't Kipora Gabora here? Where are you? Imagine, like, maybe not as big, but imagine like Hyrule Castle. Why do I keep saying Hyrule Castle? Hyrule Field. Imagine Hyrule Fields. Just imagine this Hyrule Field. It's quite barren. Look at it. It's quite barren. There's a pea hat there. You know, you got Lon Lon Ranch over there. Imagine what this is going to look like, and it being bigger and more to explore, like caves and trees everywhere, and, you know, enemies and NPCs maybe, and more houses, and I mean, just look how barren it is. Look, imagine what this is going to look like in like a remake, and imagine they just make it bigger, not as big as Breath of the Wild, but big, and just like, you know, galloping along in Epona, going to like new houses, and I'm just speculating here. Obviously, I don't know if this is going to be the case, but I can imagine they're not going to make this. They're not going to make the remake and make it just barren like it is in this game, right? They're obviously going to add stuff to it. You obviously got Lon Lon Ranch. We've got the Stalfos coming out, or Stal Child, but whatever. It could be some new temples, dungeons, mini dungeons, caves, side quest stuff. Maybe some mini games, you know, stuff like. Think of like Twilight Princess. You're right down there. Yeah. Why wouldn't they? I mean, look. Just imagine this place full of like, more enemies and just full of stuff to look at. Don't get me wrong. This is still great. You know, I know this game came out in 1998, so it was very limited. I understand that. But just imagine what this looks like with, like, just new. With just new. I could probably describe it a bit better than just new, but you know what I mean? Like, just more here. Just look at all this space and how much more they can add. It's gonna be crazy. You want the original weapons? Oh yeah, I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna add like weapon durability and stuff like that. I don't think they're gonna change any of the original stuff. They're only gonna add stuff. Like, I can imagine there maybe being more, maybe not weapons, but more like gadgets. You know, like hook shots and all that. Maybe the hook shot could be different, or the boomerang be different in some sort of way. Like, you got the Gale boomerang from Twilight Princess. I'm not saying it has to be the Gale boomerang, but, you know, something like that. I don't think they're going to mess with weapon durability and stuff. I don't know why people think that. I'm not circling you out, but I've seen a lot of people saying that online, like, oh, I hope they don't add, like, weapon durability. Why would they do that? That's a Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom mechanic. I don't know why people may think that, that's something they will add to a remake of this game. The Giant's Knife has weapon durability. Well, yeah, but the Bigoron sword doesn't. You don't want climbing. No, they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna add, like, random climbing unless there's vines. Obviously, you get the Giant's Knife, but then you can do a quest to get it as the Bigoron sword, right? So it's not breakable. But I'm just walking around. Do you know I've never really went down here in this game? I don't think I've ever been down this area in Ocarina of Time. Yeah, they're not going to add anything from, like, just climbing random walls. And I think that the reason why the climbing walls thing exists in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom is because of the game style. It would nice to see Hyrule Castle from the field as a focal point. I think, yeah, they're going to make Castle Town. I could imagine them making Castle Town and Hyrule Castle very grand. And they're going to make Castletown, you know, explorable. I think there's going to be like shops. I don't think you're going to go into Castletown. It's going to be like this, for example. Like, it's not going to be, if I can imagine, I don't think you're going to walk into Castletown. It's going to be this fixed middle camera and you walk around. I think it's going to be like a full, you can explore around the town. And I can imagine them being, what is that? Subscribed. Oh, is that YouTube? Thanks for that. I appreciate it. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, no, I can imagine the Castletown's going to, I think Castletown's going to be bigger and more stuff to look at. More shops and stuff like that. You don't want crafting. Maybe not crafting. Maybe like... No, I don't think they should do crafting, no. Because crafting was... In Zelda, like Tears of the Kingdom, that was for... like cooking and stuff, right? To replenish your health or give you more stamina or more damage or heat resistance or cold resistance and stuff. Thanks for subscribing, by the way. Sorry, what the hell is that? A super chat? Jesus Christ, I don't even get super chat. Thanks for that. I didn't know I had super chat activated. I don't think you need to make the game big. I just want better graphics with no load screens. They could do a whole game without the load screens with new tech. First of all, thanks for that super chat. I didn't know I had super chats activated, so I appreciate that. But no, I think they'll make the game bigger. I think they'll make Hyrule Field bigger and more stuff in it. And I think Castletown's going to be bigger, but I don't think it's going to be on the scale of Breath of the Wild. But I think they're going to make this bigger with more in it. More places to look at. More people to talk to, animals maybe. There could be wildlife. I wouldn't be maybe not like Breath of the Wild, but like there could be, you know, some chickens, some cuckoos over there, or there could be some like sheep in a pen, or some horses, or something like that. They're just there. They're just there for like to look at, something like that. More enemies, yeah, more enemies to do, more variety of enemies. Because obviously when you're walking around here in the daytime, all you've got, unless I'm wrong, is the P-hats, right? You've just got the P-hats floating around. At nighttime, you've got the Stalchilds, or Stalfos, whatever. Stalfos, Stalchilds, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, they're obviously going to make... I don't think they're going to make it, like I say, they're not going to make it as big as Breath of the Wild. Like, I don't mean like... I just mean as in scale, but I think they're going to make it bigger. But... not have all these empty spaces. I feel like it's going to be like... I feel like they're going to make it so there's going to be like stuff to do. Everywhere you look, there's something to look at visually. Like, imagine over there, there's like, you know, you've got like the rocks, and there's like just some cuckoos just floating around, or like a, I don't know, a little horse stable with some guy tending to his horses or something like that, right? Just something like that. Not doesn't mean you can board the horses like and start taming horses like you do in Breath of the Wild, but just like a little horse or a little shop here, a little marketplace, a little outside Castletown marketplace selling some gear or something to do with someone's got a side quest out here that, oh, could I go and at nighttime go and kill X amount of Stalfos, and if one of them may drop an item, can you bring it to him? Then you get a reward for doing it or something. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, just stuff to do, more stuff to do. But I still but the main part is the spirit of the game is not changed. Damn it. As in, like, you've still got everything in it, but there's more. Damn it. I just void out. Breath of the Wild was like Link's mom threw him out in the sandbox, told him to play. Yeah. They might let you do dungeons in any order. I don't think so. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think, personally, I think they're going to keep all that stuff the same. So I've tried to do what the speedrunners do. You can side hop up there and get rupees. So you don't have to side up, but it's quicker. But I keep falling off because I'm not a speedrunner. But I don't think they're going to... I think it's still going to be... I think it's still going to be linear. It's still going to be... You have to collect all the ruby, the Gorn ruby, and, you know, the Kokiri emerald and all that stuff. You start to get all that stuff. But there's more stuff to do in the open world, like Hyrule Field. Jesus Christ, another super chat. You have to do that. They commit the whole game in the graphics they showed us with no changes other than the graphics, but the whole game is walkthrough able. Walkthrough able without load screen. Yeah, I imagine like load screens won't be a thing or limited. But you really don't have to keep doing the super chat thing. I appreciate it though. I actually didn't know I had super chats enabled. I thought I disabled it because I don't actually. The funny thing is, I don't actually. I appreciate it, but I don't actually get those super chats. I can't claim those super chats, so I appreciate it, but please save your money. If you want to donate, you really don't have to, but there's a link in the description, which is a better donation thing. But I didn't know I had that on. But yeah, I can imagine it being more seamless. I'm trying to do what the speedrunners do. I can't do it though. How do they do it? They like stand here like this and just go bop, 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 bop. Then backflip. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. Look at that. Try to make it look cool. But I can say I have full faith that the game is. I have full faith that the game is going to be faithful to the original. This game, but they're just going to make it bigger and grander and more. That's what I think. And look better, obviously. Play better. It's going to be, you know, just more. It's going to be the game, but more. It's going to be Ocarina of Time, but more. Imagine this lady in glorious graphics. This lady here, look at her. Imagine what she's going to look like. Right? Imagine what these two are going to look like dancing around. The little dogs, and like, look at Castletown. Listen to it. Listen to Castletown. Just take it all in. Look at all these people. Just look at all these people. Look. This is just Castletown. Imagine stuff like this, little dotted around Hyrule. Another little village, a little town. You can go, not maybe not a town, but a little village where you can like. Not obviously you got Kakariko village, but I just mean like there could be another little bit that you find, and it's another little secret area where there's people. There's shops and there's quests and mini games and all that stuff. Imagine that. I mean, just listen to what this sounds like, and just listen to what it sounds like in this game, and just feel that what the energy is in this just here, and imagine what this is going to be like in the remake, if they do it, and I believe they're going to do it well. Imagine what this is going to be like, what it's going to sound like, what it's going to feel like, what you're going to see. Imagine that. It does feel like it's going to be more like Star Fox 64 remake on Switch to extremely faithful to... Yeah, I think it's going to be faithful to the original because I've said it at the start of the stream. Nintendo know that this game is so pivotal, not only in Zelda lore and the Zelda universe, but also in gaming, in the history of gaming, what this game did for gaming in general. Nintendo know they're not going to mess that up. I don't think they're going to change the core story of this game is going to be the same, in my opinion, but they're going to add onto it cutscenes, cinematics, like we spoke to before about the intro. What was we see Link as a baby being brought to the Deku Tree, being brought to Kokiri Forest. Imagine seeing that, seeing it, the mother fleeing, whatever, bringing Link as a baby, seeing Link, maybe little snippets of cutscenes of Link growing up within the Kokiri. Maybe he was being bullied. Maybe he showed. Maybe he was an outcast because he didn't have a fairy. Things like that. Imagine just that. But then imagine that for everything. Imagine entering Castletown for the first time, and Link walks in and he sees the cutscene plays, and you see all these people dancing and singing, and dogs running around, and shops, and listening to the noise. Just listen to what this sounds like, and look how basic this is, but look how charming it is. I mean, look at her dancing. Look, imagine her dancing in glorious new graphics on the Switch 2. Just imagine what this is going to look like in... I think it's going to be great. And I do believe... I feel the game is going to be the biggest game ever. I think it has the potential... A lot of people call Ocarina of Time the best game ever made. Not just because of its game, because of what it did for gaming, what it did in that era for gaming. I think the remake could be the modern day Ocarina of Time. What I feel like it could be that big. It could be that grand, Ocarina of Time. The new one. Like, now, I'm just speculating. So I don't know, obviously. We've seen a very, very small snippet of whatever they're, you know, going to bring out. But I think I have faith in them not messing it up. Because I know they know how important, I've said this many times, how important this game is in Zelda and in gaming. Remake would be great and set a blueprint for you. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I would prefer a brand new Zelda game. I would prefer a brand new entry into the story than a remake necessarily. But like, if they didn't show the remake, or there wasn't a remake, but there was a brand new Zelda game, I'd be extremely excited for that. But I'm also very excited now to see what they're going to do with this. Have you ever seen the, have you seen the, this is really random, have you seen the Twilight Princess PC port? It's called like Dusklight or something like that. The art style, the remake is how it was made. Well, like I say, after my initial, and I'm not going to lie, my initial reaction seeing Link in that very short clip, I was like, oh, he looks weird. My initial reaction was, oh, it looks weird. But after 5 minutes and just taking it in, I was like, actually, it actually looks like what I would expect Link to look like. Like, now when I see that image of Link in the new game laying in his little bed, that it now is Child Link for me. I won't be excited for another cell shaded. No, I don't think so. They've already said the era of the wild or whatever, you know, the Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Age of Imprisonment. That era of Zelda is done. They're not touching that again. They've already said that. So, and you can guarantee Nintendo are already working on their next Zelda game. I would imagine maybe next year we'll get a tease for a new Zelda. And yeah, I don't think they'll be going in the same. So they're not touching the Breath of the Wild stuff again. That's done. That era is done. They've said that. Anyway, I think that's enough for me playing this game for now. I didn't say I was going to do a full playthrough of this. If anybody is interested in watching any of my playthroughs, I have a playlist of like 180 or something like that streams of multiple variety of Zelda games. So if anybody's interested in that, then I'm not going now, by the way. Just give me one sec. Yeah, 186 Zelda videos. Although some of them may be private because they were like, they're just not on there anymore. But most of them are there. Let me just put this in the. Oh, where's my? There it is. There's the playlist link if anybody's interested in watching any of my Zelda stuff. It's all Zelda stuff. There's 180 odd videos. Also, let me just do this. Say, I want to quickly load up. So we're gonna leave Ocarina of Time there. I understand there's a black screen as well, so I am aware of that. But let me just it's gonna be the same game, better graphics. I want at least the first time you read a character's words to be voice acted. Yeah, I can imagine they're at voice acting, but I could also see it being similar to Breath of the Wild in that case, and Tears of the Kingdom, where maybe in cutscenes and people talking over like cutscenes or whatever voices. But I feel like when you're going to talk to people, so you go up to an NPC and talk to them, I would imagine it being like Breath of the Wild in that way, where and Tears of the Kingdom, where it's like, you know, it's just text. But like when it comes to cutscenes and stuff like that, then I'd imagine there being voice acting, which I ain't got a problem with. I think it works really well in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So Yeah, have anybody ever seen, have you seen the Dusklight? Let me load it up. I know there's a black screen right now, so just bear with me. You ever seen Dusklight? This is the recent Twilight print. Also, I have got a mod on here which is 4K graphics. So it's a texture pack. You haven't seen this? It's a, oh wait. Now this looks incredible on here, by the way. Alright, yeah. Now, Twilight Princess for the longest time. Twilight Princess was my favorite 3D Zelda game. I think it's been overtaken by Majora's Mask in recent time, because I only recently beat Majora's Mask, because as a kid, Majora's Mask terrified me, not because I was scared of it, because I didn't understand it. I didn't understand the mechanics of the cycle or whatever. And also, this is the GameCube. This is the GameCube version of the game. I haven't played the. Wait, oh, Bit doesn't help me. She has to come and help me in a sec. Shit, this is like a tutorial. Oh, there's Nightbot, like with the playlisting. I forgot I had that on still. Oi. You think you did a video of the one you're playing right now? Yeah, so this was like something I've been following for a while. I was really excited, but this has got a lot of this looks I know it's not gonna look that great because I'm what the hell? Because I'm only streaming at 1080p because I'm streaming on Twitch as well right now, and the max I can go is 1080p. But I'm playing at, as you can see in the top left, it's 240 FPS. And it's at 4K graphics. It looks incredible. So it's not really going to look that great, or won't look as great on the stream, but this game looks incredible on this PC port. Like, it's so, like, clean. I mean, to be fair, I do have a texture pack on as well. But even without the texture pack, it looks amazing. This is what I imagine. This is what I can... You think of a game, you go, oh, man... Well, when I played Ocarina of Time, the graphics were like, whoa, they're like, blew my mind. And then when you go back to Ocarina of Time, like the actual Nintendo 64 version, you go, oh, it's not quite as I remembered. Because at the time, it's like amazing to you. Well, this is what I imagined Twilight Princess to look like back when I first played it in like 2006 or whatever it came out. So I remember going to buy this game. Oh, we're going the wrong way. Yeah, this game looks amazing on this port. Majora's Mask came out, I didn't like because of the time thing, but like, you know. Yeah, I can say, as a kid, I mean, I didn't have the internet, so I couldn't just look up a guide to see what to do. So as a kid, I did not know, like, I didn't understand the, I didn't understand the mechanics. As a kid. So it was one of those games it scared me because I didn't know how to play it. But I actually did my first playthrough recently. It's in that playlist there. I did a full playthrough of Majora's Mask. And then I loved it that much that I instantly played Majora's Mask 3D straight afterwards. And did a full playthrough of that as well. Although I did get salty at some points because I got stuck in one dungeon. I can't remember what it was. It's when you're a Goron. And I didn't realize... I was really tired. I think I've been up all night and I've been streaming for like 8 hours. And I was getting frustrated. I didn't really know how to get through this dungeon. And I didn't realize that I think it's the central part of the Goron. I can't remember the name of it, but the Goron themed dungeon. You could punch like the central column and it lowers it. I didn't know you could do that. So I spent like hours just walking around trying to figure out what to do. And that's what I had to do. Nintendo should make Nintendo Wii 2. As the motion controls and can compete with newer consoles' graphics. Well, they did make a Wii 2. It's called the Wii U, and everybody hated it. Yeah. Now this is graphics. Look at these. Look at this GameCube. Look at this. I think one of the biggest gripes with this game specifically is the fact that you don't really see Zelda much. Zelda's not really a big part in this game. No new Wii. The Wii era was the dark age for a long time. Yeah, Wii was a strange time because obviously the Wii was obviously the big thing was the motion controls, which was really cool at the time. It was really cool at the time, but the fact that every game was built around the motion controls, or for the most part, for me it kind of made it very sort of, I don't know. For the longest time, I really love Skyward Sword. I think Skyward Sword, I love Skyward Sword's story. Like, I think Skyward Sword is my favorite Zelda story. Just because it's the start of the timeline. I love the music in the game. Everything about Skyward Sword I love, besides the fact that it's motion controls. Now, I do understand that in Skyward Sword HD, you can use non-motion controls, but if you've played Skyward Sword HD, and it's not the same controls, like the controls are weird. Also, where's my where's wait, hold on. Oh, there it is. Ah! Wait, where's... Oh, sorry, I've... There we go. Yeah. And don't get me started about Link's crossbow training. What the hell was that? The Joy-Cons have the same tech as the Wii remotes. Yeah, pretty much. The Wii was too weak to get real third-party support. Yeah, I think the problem with the Wii was, even though it was great at the time, the problem was that it was a motion-based console, and I think it ran pretty short, pretty quick, because of its limited, like, the gimmick was the motion controls, and everything about it was motion controls. Skyward Sword, motion controls. So I'm loading up my Switch. Actually, it's a Switch 2. There you go. The Joy-Con wasn't coming on. They don't need to make a hardware console that's touchscreen, that has a touchscreen counterpart. I don't know. Why is there no sound? There's no sound! Oh, I know why. Give me one sec. I've got to do it a different way now, because it doesn't work like this anymore. One sec. If I do this, and then streaming center. And if I... Is it gonna work? Wii was an old folks home. I mean, I thought the novelty of the Wii was cool. Like, obviously Wii Sports, but wait, why is this blank? What's happening? Why is it not working? What's happening, bro? Hello? Oh, I think I know why. Hold on. Oh, one sec. Just make the Switch 2 without a screen. That's just a console, not a normal console. Sorry, I am still here. Just give me a sec. Need to get rid of something up here. Is it an art style similar to Twilight, or did Nintendo hire the man? Oh, you're one of those guys. Out of the 18 seconds that you saw of the art style in the Ocarina of Time gameplay or the teaser, it does not look like Twilight Princess nor the Hired Man, which I'm assuming you're on about, the guy who does the Unreal Engine stuff, which it looks nothing like Unreal Engine if you use more than one brain cell. Windows Copilot kill my guy. Yeah, I don't know why it's not showing up. You would love a normal console again. I like the Switch too. I don't know why this isn't working though. Wait, have I got the right thing open here? Hold on. I think it's because... Hold on. Video capture device. I mean, not specifying the engine, but just hyper-realistic in general. Well, like I say, you look, okay, let's get this out of the way again. Watch this, okay? I'm going to show you, because if you haven't seen, obviously, you know, let's have a look here. So you're looking at graphics, okay? Right, let's have a look at this. You ready? You got to make a decision off 18 seconds of Link, okay? You tell me what you think. You ready? Here we go. Starting from now. Okay, you're 18 seconds. You tell me what it looks like. There you go. Now you tell me what it looks like. Bum, 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 bum. By the way, the end screen's going to pop up. Just ignore that. Give me 1 second. I got to do something. Sorry, I have to also just ignore these screens for a moment. Now you tell me, out of 18 seconds, if you can tell of Link laying down, and he moved, oh my god, Unreal Engine 5! Oh, hyper-realistic! Twilight Princess! Skyward Sword! Is it cel-shaded? It does not like Link. Oh, it looks crap. It looks too real. It doesn't look real enough. Why has he got the Triforce on his hand? He shouldn't have the Triforce yet. Why does the shield look like the new shield? Why does it not look like the old shield? Why is the logo still gold? Why is it not red? Why does the Master Sword look different? Bum, 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 bum. I understand the point. We can't presume what you think about hyper-realistic. If that looks hyper-realistic to you, I don't know what to say. If you think this looks hyper-realistic, I really don't know what to say. Because this does not look hyper-realistic to me. About the logo, I actually like it. The sword being consistent with the Skyward Sword is really nice. Well, it's the Hylian shield and the Master Sword. They look slightly different. Look, I've already spoke about this, so I won't go into too much for the people that have been here when I was ranting about it. But for the people who go on about this sword not looking like the sword, for this shield not looking exactly the same as what it looked like in the original Ocarina of Time, this design for the Hylian shield has been around longer than the design it was for in Ocarina of Time. This design has been around since Skyward Sword. This design. And it's a slightly altered version of the original. There's no triangle here. These are slightly different and these are slightly different. But it's the Hylian shield. Artistically, they changed the design of it, but it's still the Hylian shield. The Master Sword, yes, looks slightly different. There's a little bit different here, but it's the Master Sword because this is just what it looks like now. Now, yes, they could have made the design back to what it looked like, you know, in the original. So, yeah, sure, they could have made it look like what it looked like in the original, you know, game. But then people would go, oh, why does it look like that? It doesn't look like that anymore. It looks like, why does it look weird? It doesn't look like, why do they use the old design? Why do they not use the new design? So people, you can't win. This is what the Hylian shield has looked like for 15 years. Go back to Skyward Sword. The Hylian shield looks like this. The Hylian shield looked like it did in Ocarina of Time for 13 years. So technically, this design is older and lasted longer than the original design. So, and this is a remake, and they're using their up-to-date designs, just like it's like when, like I say, I've said this before at the start of the stream, but like the color of the logo, people complaining, oh, it should be red because in the title screen of Ocarina of Time, the logo's red. But if you do a little bit of research, the original box or the original cartridge for the Nintendo 64 version of the Ocarina of Time, the text was gold. And also special edition cartridges were gold, so they're paying homage to the original there. But people complain because it's not, and then it's got the task design. This task design doesn't make sense. This design was brought in Breath of the Wild to show that the poster was almost like post-apocalyptic Hyrule, where everything is. So it's the way it is. This is what it looks like. I think the logo looks great. You're all right. The only thing bugs is because Twilight Zone has pseudo realistic design. Well, I just don't understand what hyper realistic means. Like, this does not look. This looks like what I'd expect Link to look like. Child Link to look like. This is what I would expect. But anyway, as regards to hyper realistic, I just don't know how you can get what. I could not gain enough information from this snippet here of what the game's going to look like. We don't know what other characters look like. We don't know what they looks like when they're moving, when they're talking, when they're interacting, when Link's fighting. What does he look like when he's holding the shield, the sword, the hook shot? What does he look like when he's standing up with his boots on, his hat on? What's he look like when he's interacting with Saria? What's it like when he's playing the ocarina? What it looks like when he's walking around Castletown? We don't know because we haven't seen it. All we see is this. Please surrender to my opinion. I'll just say, how is it off-putting? I don't know how you can say this is off-putting. What about this is off-putting? I'm just curious because a lot of people say, "Oh, this looks horrible. This looks bad. It looks hyper-realistic." But what does that mean? What does that mean? To me, this looks like I said at the start of the stream. My initial reaction to seeing this, when I streamed the Nintendo Direct, and my initial reaction was, Link looks weird. But it gave me 5 minutes to realize, because I said this many times, I'm sorry if people that are here, if you've been here the whole stream, and I've said this many times now, but the reason why I thought Link looked weird originally was because when I think of Ocarina of Time, I think of 1998, I think of the N64, I think of polygons, and I think if that's Link, that's Child Link to me. I think of so when I saw Link like this, I was like, oh, that looks weird. Link looks weird. I took 5 minutes or so and I started looking. I was like, hold on a minute. If you really look, it looks like Child Link, but in different graphics. This looks like what I would expect Link to look like from just this little snippet, what Link to look like in the modern era on the latest Nintendo console. Now, does people say, oh, it's Unreal Engine? If you look at Unreal Engine, it looks nothing like it, for one, in my opinion, what I can see from what you can see here. And two, hyper-realistic, I'm not quite sure what that really means. Really? Like, people say Twilight Princess looks hyper-realistic. I don't know anybody who looks like that. I've never seen anybody that looks like the way the character's looking. Have you seen the way the character's looking, Twilight Princess? It looks more realistic. It's not cartoony like Wind Waker, or it's not like cel-shaded like, Skyward Sword and Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. It's not like that, for sure. But hyper-realistic. If I think of hyper-realistic, I think of Until Dawn. I think of Detroit Become Human. I think of Resident Evil. I think, their face look really hyper-realistic. Look at Leon Kennedy. Look at his wrinkles. Look at the gray hairs. Look at the short snippet we've seen of Code Veronica. If you Resident Evil Code Veronica remake, if you look at the picture of Claire Redfield, you can see the bum fluff on her face. You can see that's hyper-realistic. This looks like a cartoon to me, but with better graphics. It looks like an animated thing. It doesn't look like hyper realistic, in my opinion. Means the artist is going to more realistic. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, but to me, it still doesn't look like what people are saying online with the Unreal Engine, all that crap. Looks nothing like it. Anyway, I've already ranted about that many times. I'm trying to get my Switch 2 to show up on the stream here, but for some reason it's not showing up. I don't know why. I would never understand that he's a kid that grew up in the Wii era. I mean, it's like people talk about Link's Awakening and like Link's Awakening is my favorite Zelda game. I played the original Link's Awakening God knows how many times. I've already spoke about that already in this stream itself. And yes, when you look at Link's Awakening's graphics at the remake, you're like, oh god, it looks like kind of like whimsical and childlike, and it looks like doll little toys. But if you think aesthetically, it's supposed to look like that. If you think of like in the context of the game and what it is, it makes sense for it to look like that. Why is there no sound now? What the hell? I don't even know why I'm loading up the Switch, to be honest with you. I actually don't know why I've loaded it. Why did I load the Switch up? Does anybody know why I loaded this? I don't know. I don't know why I loaded the Switch up. Why is there no sound? Yeah, I don't know why I loaded this up. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know. Why did I load the Switch up? No idea. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. What's happening? Let's look at some other Zelda games. Breath of the Wild. The game is going to be the best game ever. I hope it is. I hope it is amazing. And I've said it many times already. I have full faith that they will do it justice. It's not plus I think more it's not really consistent with the original art. Well, how could it really be consistent with the original art though? You know about Link's Awakening? Link's Awakening was a top-down 2D like pixelated like 8-bit game. I don't know how that could be. Let's see if I still got it. How do I parry? I forgot. I have not played Breath of the Wild for ages. How do I parry? I forgot. How'd you parry in Breath of the Wild? There we go. Thanks to Rook. How do I leave this area? Leave. Ocarina of Time 3D is 100% fidelity to the original art of Ocarina of Time and 64. Yeah, but how could you? That's slightly different. How could you take a top-down 8-bit game and make it look the same as it did like in modern day? Breath of the Wild. So I will say, like, a lot of people used to ask me as well, like when the playthroughs of like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Like a lot of people say to you, "Oh, what's my favorite, Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom?" And I actually think, even though I think Breath of the Wild, sorry, Tears of the Kingdom as like, I prefer like the shrines and stuff like that in general, and I like the Ultra Hand thing more. But I will never forget my first time experiencing Breath of the Wild as a Zelda fan from a child, not really understanding what an open... Back in 2017, I didn't play open world games. I didn't really understand the concept of an open world game. And like, when I first played this game, I didn't really know what I was getting into. And the first time I saw, and I remember it was Dinral. I saw the dragon Dinral. The first time I saw Dinral, and I was blown away. I'd never seen anything like it. I was like, oh my god, what is that? I really loved this game. Now, afterwards, yes, obviously this is the Switch 2 version, but looking back on it, there's a lot of gripes with this game. The dungeons or divine beasts were too similar, even though when I first played them, you know, the novelty of them was cool. I loved the way you could, you know, each divine beast had a different mechanic. You manipulate it to do the puzzles. I thought it was really cool. But I just think aesthetically, and they did a better job in Tears of the Kingdom making the dungeons aesthetically like correct with the areas, but they were still basically just a divine beast. You just had to do 5 things and beat a boss. But yeah, Breath of the Wild, I have fond memories of Breath of the Wild. And yeah, Tears of the Kingdom, I was let down severely by the story in Tears of the Kingdom. I feel like Tears of the Kingdom's story was set up in a specific way, and then it did not play out how it was portrayed, in my opinion. I am going to go into that again because I've talked about Breath of the Wild and stuff like that, Tears of the Kingdom's story many times. You don't like the breakable items? Yeah, I mean, that was one thing. It was a bit odd. Obviously, in Tears of the Kingdom, they do a better job because they basically make, yeah, items still break, but you can make weapons out of anything. You can fuse weapons to weapons and make more weapons, so... But yeah, I never understood why there was a, never a sort of, you know, a mechanic to fix weapons, but... And obviously the Master Sword running out of energy, but I understand why they had to do that. But... yeah, Breath of the Wild, I think I have fond memories of Breath of the Wild. And by the way, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom look incredible on the Switch too. I've said, and also, you know what game looks incredible on the Switch too? Echoes of Wisdom. Echoes of Wisdom on the Switch too it looks amazing. But I thought they would have made Echoes of Wisdom like a Switch 2 exclusive, but they obviously didn't. But yeah, Tears of the Kingdom was a letdown for me because I feel like they baited us with the story, and it definitely was not what they portrayed it to be in like the teasers and stuff like that. And the fact that one of the biggest gripes of Tears of the Kingdom is like it's supposed to be a sequel to Breath of the Wild, but some of the NPCs don't even know who you are. Like they just don't remember who you are. You're like, I'm Link. I defeated the Calamity Ganon that has been wreaking havoc on this land for eons. I defeated him along with the Princess of Hyrule. And some of the characters are just like, oh, who are you? It's like, I'm Link. So that was just kind of like, and then people say, yeah, well, it's for people who didn't play Breath of the Wild. But it's a sequel. It should be a sequel. Like, people should remember who you are. No real temples or dungeons, real story breakable items. Yeah, I just think, obviously, in these later games as well, like, the story's told within memories. So... yeah, Tears of the Kingdom. I like Tears of the Kingdom. I can earn platinum points, whatever the hell that means. I like Tears of the Kingdom, but in many ways it's better than Breath of the Wild. But man, the story is just the story is just they could have made it so much better. But the games look amazing on here, by the way. I know people don't... So is there consensus that a lot of people don't like? So, you know, like, who is it who said it? Like, you know, like the cel-shaded style. Do people not like cel-shaded Link or cel-shaded Zelda? Or is it just the fact of they didn't want to see Ocarina of Time's remake in cel-shaded? What is the consensus that Zelda... Because I didn't know that. I didn't realize Zelda fans didn't like cel-shaded Zelda. I like it. It doesn't bother me. But yeah, just imagine like the remake of Breath of the Wild, not Breath of the Wild, Echoes of Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, the remake of the remake of Ocarina of Time. I don't imagine it being this big, but it's gonna be bigger than the original Ocarina of Time. I can almost guarantee it. The casuals like cel-shaded Zelda. Well, I like cel-shaded Zelda. I'm not casual. I like the way this game looks. I prefer like Twilight Princess or something like that, but I don't mind cel-shaded. I think Link looks pretty good in this art style. Ba 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 ba. One thing I'll never forgive Nintendo for in this game. Wait, what's... One thing I'll never forgive is this. What the hell is this? Most long-time Zelda fans don't like cel shading. As a matter of fact, people hated Wind Waker. Oh, no, Wind Waker doesn't look like this. But I understand what you're saying. You gotta go, but we'll be here to boost the viewer up. I appreciate that. Thanks for stopping by the way. I appreciate it. Yeah, but this was never explained. Who this is. I mean, this guy, whoever I am here, is that Shadow Link? No, it's I don't even know who he's supposed to be. He's an ancient hero, but he looks half Zonai, half something. I don't know what he is, and it's never explained what he is or who he is. The only thing he is he's in the wait, where's why am I dumb? Where's Kakariko Village? Wait, where's Kakariko Village? Oh, there. Whoops. Wind Waker was an early form of cel shading. Yeah. According to lore, he's an ancient Zonai. Yeah, but it's like it's never explained who he is. He's just like, oh, I mean, this guy is so important. You get this costume, or this armor, for beating all 152 shrines. And he's important because this guy... This is not Kakariko Village. What am I doing? What am I done? Where the hell's Kakariko Village? It's there. Oh my god. The links are really descendants, but this is a link. It's supposed to be a link, but like, when the hell has Link ever been? I don't think this is a link. He looks like I don't know. Like, what is he? Like, he's a Zonai, but he doesn't look like a Zonai, right? The Twilight Mirror, yeah, I got that from my Wolf Link amiibo. The tapestry shows him as Link. Well, the tapestry doesn't show him as Link, it shows him as a hero. There's nowhere that... I mean, it shows him as a hero who fought back Calamity Ganon at some point. Yeah, he's on this tapestry. Where is it? And also Impa. Oh, that's not Impa. That's Pyre. He's not Hylian like we know Link normally, but the hero doesn't have to be Hylian. Well, I know, but my point is, okay, we know he's a hero, but he's never, like, it's never explained what or who, like, what is he? It's never explained. You can go, okay, he's a Zonai of some sort, but you know, his design is very strange. Because look at the jewel on his head. That jewel looks like the one that Ganondorf has on his head, if you think about it. He's got the flaming red hair like Ganondorf. I know there was like if you look at here, that's him. He's this guy. That's him. Because Impa even mentions it, that you look like this guy. But it's never the tapestry reminds you of the scrolls. Yes, there's a theme with the tapestry stuff. I really like Wind Waker's opening, by the way. It's one of my favorite ones. If he's got a spirit of a hero, he's a Link. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, you're assuming that. What I'm saying, it's never said who he is. That's what I'm saying. It's just like, oh, there's this weird sort of Link, Hylian, Zonai looking character. But he's a hero, but like, who is he? He's Ganon's brother. No, I just thought it was visually, like, with the jewel on his head and stuff like that, I thought was quite interesting. But my point is, they never elaborate on who this guy is. I mean, look at, he's got like animal feet. He's covered in Zonai like armor. He's got like Zonai tattoos, but he's got like, he looks like some sort of like, I don't know, it looks like some sort of Egyptian something or other if you look at him carefully. If you look at like Egyptian stuff, pharaohs, he looks like a pharaoh. If you look at like pharaoh depictions of like dogs and stuff like that, just look at those and it reminds me of that. And yeah, he's obviously sometime he is a hero, and you say, okay, well, he's Link, but it's not necessarily Link. Link has never been depicted as like a weird animal. No, well, Link in Twilight Princess is a wolf. Okay, sure. But I'm just saying, my point is that there's never a story about this guy. And I was expecting in, you know, Age of Imprisonment, I was expecting him to maybe touch on this guy, but no, you just got to think, who the hell is he? He was a hero at some point that fought back Calamity Ganon with a princess, assuming that's Princess Zelda. Where's the history about him? Like, there's nothing said about it. Yeah, it's just strange because he doesn't look like. Oops. If you look at the Zonai, he doesn't look. I mean, obviously the Zonai could have. Oh, look at that. What I think of the Warriors games, they're not my style. The only reason I played, I streamed and played Age of Imprisonment because it was a canonical. It was canon to this story. I didn't play Age of Calamity because that isn't canon. I think we're just disagreeing on what makes Link Link. I'm just saying Link equals hero. Well, sure, but I'm my point is it was never explained who he is. There's nothing about him. It's just, oh, he's just some weird looking Zonai animal something who is a hero. Who is he? That's all I'm saying. Like, okay, it could be Link, but some sort of weird animal furry Link, I guess. But I mean, if you look at the Zonai, look at Rauru. Like look at Minoru. Like, he doesn't look like this guy doesn't look like a Zonai necessarily. Anyway, this is one of those things where I'm just sort of like, why was it never explained about him? And we're just left to assume, okay, well, he's just a hero that kind of looks like nothing we've seen. Like, there's nothing in. Obviously, we can assume he's some sort of Zonai. I mean, he's got like Hylian ears, but also not. I don't. He's got like animal feet. He's green. Like, it's just strange. It's Ganon before. No, I don't think it's Ganon, because that doesn't make any sense. Because here he is fighting against Ganon, Calamity Ganon. So I don't think Ganon. So you're saying this is Ganondorf? Because it's Ganon is the beast form of. I guess this is a beast. I don't know. I don't know. I just think visually it's strange the way he's designed, especially with the red hair and the jewel on the forehead. So if you think of Ganondorf, he has a jewel on his head, right? I know it's not exactly the same, but if you look at Ganondorf, he does have this big jewel on his forehead, and he always has. If you look at the old games, I think this gold hand resembles him having the Triforce of Courage. I don't know. The funny thing is, in these games as well, the Triforce is not mentioned at all. It's like it's alluded to, so you can see Triforce, you know, statue. Like, obviously, there's like imagery of the Triforce, but the Triforce is not really a thing in these games. And also, people are like, "Oh, where is the Triforce?" I believe that Princess Zelda, however it happened, somewhere in the whatever happened in the big, because we don't know from this era to like the old stuff how much time has passed, right? So I think Zelda has the Triforce, because if you look at you know, she's trying to awaken her power or whatever, right? And when she seals Calamity Ganon, the Triforce appears on her hand, like the full Triforce appears on her hand. So I'm assuming somehow Zelda has the dormant power within her is the Triforce. But once again, it's not explained at all where the Triforce is. It's just a legend now. Ganon original form was pig. Look, yeah, I understand. I understand that. I understand his original is pig form. I think there's a chance to the ancient heroes from the Lome tribe who lived in the Faron region. Yeah, true. I mean, I guess you could say that, but it's just that he just doesn't look like anything that we've seen before. So, but he looks. It's just an odd design, and the fact that they just go, here you go, here, and the fact that it's a reward for completing all the shrines, and they're just like, oh, here he is, and it's okay. Well, who is this guy? Oh, he's a hero. All right, but who is he? Oh, he's just a hero. He looks a bit weird, but he's just a hero from somewhere. I just wish there was more about him, so we understood like who he was, and not just, oh, he was just a hero at some point. But because obviously they've designed him, like they could have just made him look like Link, you know, but he, you know, they did just like they made him look like a weird Hylian with the ears, but he's got animal feet, and he doesn't really look like a Zonai. But he's wearing Zonai armor. Very odd. But I just wish they would have explained more about him, that's all. But they didn't. Get out of here. Age of Calamity was... I wish Age of Calamity was the AH story. AH. He's from the CDI games. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with that. He's from the CDI games. Oh, sorry, Ancient Hero. I wish Age of Calamity was the Ancient Hero story. All right, yeah. Well, so Age of Calamity is obviously it's like a alternate thing, isn't it? Do I have any other Zelda games installed on here? What else have I got? So wait, where's Skyward Sword? Have I got that installed? Yeah, I don't have Skyward Sword installed. But yeah, Hyrule Warriors. I'm not a big fan of Hyrule Warriors. I literally just played it because of the story. And even then, I was still kind of disappointed in it. Age of Calamity is not canon, yeah, but that's the only reason why I played Age of Imprisonment. Because it was. Hey, where's... I thought I had Skyward Sword installed, but I don't. Have I played the CDI games? No, I haven't, but I've seen them. I've seen them, never played them though. Never played them. Oh, what the hell? I'll tell you what, Link's Awakening looks really good on the Switch 2 as well. There isn't a Switch 2 version of Link's Awakening, but it runs better and looks better on this game, on this console. Da-da-da. Should I beat the game quickly? Da, 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 da. Oh, I don't know the path around the windfish's egg though. Wait. Da, 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 da. What am I doing? Let's beat Link's Awakening quickly. The Direct was awesome. Well, the thing is, like, I'm not really a Nintendo guy. Like, as in, like, all these games, like, I can't even think right now. Like, I'm not a big sort of, like, was it? I guess it's not. No, stop. You're 41 and you cried. Well, I didn't go that far, but I, you know, after watching, like, my first reaction to Ocarina of Time Remake was kind of muted, but because I don't know why. I've spoken about it at the start of the stream. But yeah, you know, I'm not really a Nintendo guy, so when I see all these other Nintendo games, it don't bother me. Like, if I see, like, a new Mario game or something, I'm like, oh, you know. You cry. Yeah, no, I'm just saying that I didn't. Right, up, left, up. Hold on. I should know these by now, but I never learned them. Da, 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 da. Nintendo won this week. I guess so. I mean, actually, I never really, I think PlayStation's one was pretty poor, but I'm not really a PlayStation guy either. I think Xbox is pretty cool. I'm interested in, well, then again, the only thing I'm really interested with Xbox is doing is the Halo remake. It's funny how all these games are getting remade, isn't it? The game's full of... Yeah, there was a lot of games they showed. It was like, what was it, like 30 games they showed or something like that? Let's beat Link's Awakening quickly. I remember seeing the reveal trailer for this, and I was really excited for this, just being a Link's Awakening, like, fanboy. So when I saw the trailer for this back in 2018, I was really excited for this one. Halo was originally a Mac game. You're not wrong about that. But it did look quite different though. Oh god, my throat is itchy. Also, I've done quite a few randomizers on this game. It's really fun. Right, let's go and fight the nightmare. Steve Jobs showed off Halo reveal in 1999. Man, I forget Halo originally came out in like 2001, wasn't it? God, I spent so many hours playing Halo 1. Or Halo Combat Evolved, I should say. Da-da-da. What, you big blob? Oh wait, I need a... Oh, get back here. When I get him, don't blue ball me. See if we get perfect RNG. 4 red balls. Nope, I got blue balls. Damn it. 1 out of 2. 1 out of 3. This is bad RNG. 1 2 out of 4. Da-da-da. Maybe 3 out of 5. What? 2 out of 5? Sorry, you got a chance of being red or blue ball there. Red when you hit back, blue you don't. A pretty bad RNG in that one. Oh well. Right then, Ganon, where you at? Alright, this boss music is my favorite song in any Zelda game. The final boss music. Da, da, da. You ever listen to the or watch the Zelda? I think it's like the 25th anniversary orchestra. It's amazing. It's like a symphony orchestra of all like classic Zelda songs. It was incredible. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Ah, get back here, you blob. Hey! Just... What the hell? Get off me, man. Feelings made Remake like 5 times when it was new, but I still I like it as Zelda DX. You still like DX better? Well, I'd always say... Because Link's Awakening, the original, was like my first ever game I played. I think the original game, not DX, but the original is my favorite. But I think if you're gonna play Link's Awakening, the best way to play it is the Switch version, in my opinion. Just because visually, obviously, it looks better and the quality of life changes with the... Obviously, back then you were bound to just the B and A buttons. So you had to keep swapping out all your items. Which, I guess, is not so bad because you do that in Zelda anyway, but the fact that in this game you don't have to equip your power bracelet or you don't have to equip the Pegasus boots and things like that. There you go, Deathel is dead. Very strange last boss. I always thought this boss was strange. Very strange looking boss. Yeah, I still got my original Link's Awakening here. I straight off already. My original Link's Awakening from 1994. It's over 94 and 95, I don't remember. But I really wish I had the box for it. I've just got this old clip case thing that came with it. Well, I don't think it came with it, actually. I don't remember. I was only 5 or 6 at the time. You've beat the nightmare. Time to awaken the windfish. By the way, spoilers, if you didn't know, Link's Awakening is all a dream world. And the only way you could escape was collecting all the 8 instruments of the sirens to awaken the windfish and defeat its nightmare. Hello, Al. I don't want to speak to you. I want to play the instruments. I like it, but I remember when the original came out, Nintendo said it would be full on Zelda Hannah. Well, it was originally, so it was supposed to be a, it was supposed to be like a Link to the Past. No, wait. Was it Link to the Past, or was it supposed to be like, no, it was supposed to be Link to the Past, but handheld, wasn't it? And they people, well, the way they made, I think the reason why Link's Awakening is so good is it's so weird, but it works. If you think about it, Link's Awakening is a weird game. What the fuck is this? Oh yeah, saw this on the Nintendo Direct. I'm all right, thanks. I don't want to play Donkey Kong. Yeah, Link's Awakening is a weird game, but the story's incredible. Like when you just like, if you never played it, and you just when you find out that it's actually a dream world you're living, you're experiencing, and the only way you can escape, the only way to escape is by waking the windfish. Oh, okay. One thing I will say about the remake is why does the intro not have this song? The intro in the remake doesn't have this song. Why? This is incredible. Imagine this song playing in the remake, but it doesn't. Oh, Turtle Rock. Nintendo said the Nintendo Power to think of it as the same as a font. Oh yeah, I know that. But I'm just saying originally it was supposed... Oh crap, yeah. It was supposed to be a... It was supposed to be a port of... A Link to the Past. But it turned out to be something incredible. And it's my favorite Zelda game. Samson, can you stop licking? My cat is jumped on the desk and he's licking the skin off me, it feels like. Jesus. Samson, stop. But my cat is like licking me really hard. Stop. I love Link's Awakening. But yeah, I've done randomizers on Link's Awakening. Randomizers are really fun. I wish I could do randomizers on other Zelda games, but I just don't know them as well as I do Link's Awakening. I know Link's Awakening like the back of my hand. Like, I really hate that phrase, by the way. I know Link's Awakening like the back of my hand, but yeah, wait, how did I get... You can get here... Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Oops. But yeah, so I feel like if you're gonna do a randomizer... If you do a randomizer, you really need to know the game. Whoops. So I'm pressing the wrong buttons here. You don't have to kill this guy, by the way. You can just kind of like do this. Oh wait, I did... I'm pressing the wrong button. Stop. Oh, whatever. Whatever, I did it wrong. But if you like it, you would love the original Zelda. Yeah, I've played through the original Zelda. I played through every Zelda and beat it besides Zelda 2, Spirit Tracks, and Phantom Hourglass. Oh, and I've never beaten Triforce Heroes as well. Oh, I'm just going to try something. Get away, people, Buzz Blob. Where's my feather? There it is. There's a glitch you can do. So they say the speedrunners can beat this game in like 3 minutes. Or something like that. Or actually, I think it's less than that. I don't remember exactly how you do it. The other two was awesome. I like how Link was so... Yeah, Link always looked really tall in that game. Maybe you can't do it in this version. There's a glitch where you can, like, clip through the wall here. And then, like, you enter some sort of, like, weird space. But I don't know. Actually, is it there or is it here? Bow Wow, go away. Actually, for the longest time as well, because I didn't really play Super Mario as a kid, except from Super Mario Land, I didn't know those were chain chomps. You know, like, I still to this day call them, you know, like in Mario, I call them Bow Wows. Because as a kid, I didn't know they were chain chomps. I just knew them as Bow Wow. Can't do it. You can, like, clip through here and then, like, enter this weird space, but I can't seem to do it. Maybe you can't do it on this version of the game, actually. Like a weird clip you can do here, and it, like, puts you in this weird space. And you can get to the last boss by doing it, but I don't know how you do it, because I'm not a speedrunner on this game. But yeah, Link's Awakening, my favorite game. Obviously, this is DX, but there is no... You cannot play... There is no original Link's Awakening on here. It's just the DX version. Unfortunately. Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons, great games. Zelda 1 he's 12 and Zelda 2 he's 16. Not the same link though. Oh, it is the same link. Yeah, Zelda 1 and Zelda 2 link are the same link, yes. And then... Oh, I'm dying. Anyway, I don't know what I'm doing. Why am I loading all these Zelda games up for? Yeah, Zelda 1 and 2 is the same link. Although there's something to do... I remember Princess Zelda's like 2 Princess Zeldas or something like that in Zelda 2. I can't remember. And then A Link to the Past link, Link's Awakening, Oracle of Age, and Oracle of Seasons are all the same link. God, my throat hurts. I don't normally speak this much when I'm streaming because I don't normally have people to talk to because no one ever comes to my streams. Yeah, I don't get a lot of people watching streams nowadays, so I'm not normally talking as much to people or having comments. A lot of times I'm just talking to myself, and then well, I guess technically I am talking to myself, but you know what I mean. Yeah, Zelda 2. Yeah, I was contemplating playing that at some point, but I probably won't. Obviously, you got Minish Cap as well. It's a great game. I actually think Minish Cap's like a really underrated Zelda game. Actually, I think Minish Cap is a very underrated Zelda game. Where is it? There it is, Minish Cap. Capcom. Da, 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 da. Look at that. I played for this recently, actually. Da, 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 da. It's Toon Link. I forgot the Toon Link design was in I guess, is this Toon Link? I don't know. Yeah, it looks like Toon Link, but not. Yeah, I'm finished getting this game. This game is a great game. I didn't have this game as a youngster. I had my brother had this game and he liked it, but I never really played it. But I actually underrated this game. This game's actually really good. It's not my favorite Zelda game, but it's a really, really solid Zelda game in my opinion. Obviously, you got Minish Cap, you got Four Swords, Link to the Past. I did recently beat Link to the Past on here, and then I beat the original Link to the Past for the first time, I might add. I actually beat A Link to the Past for the first time very recently. I'd never beaten it before. And I actually, believe it or not, A Link to the Past, I didn't like it. For the longest time, I didn't like A Link to the Past. But I think A Link to the Past is really good. It is Toon Link. Yeah, I just don't... Obviously, it's Toon Link. I just kind of like... When I think of Toon... Yeah, it is Toon Link. Yeah, I forgot about the... I forgot about the art style on the box. But yeah, really, really... really good game. I think Minish Cap. What else have we got on here? So we got Game Boy. What about... So we got Super Nintendo. Oops. I learned to love A Link to the Past because for a kid... oh yeah, obviously in the 90s. I think it's because my first exposure to Zelda was Link's Awakening. And then after that it was Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons. And then it was a 3D Zelda games. Well, not so much Majora's Mask, because like I said before, I didn't know how to play Majora's Mask as a kid, so I never played it much. I just never knew what to do. And then obviously Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, the Skyward Sword, and so on. But yeah, I actually I've many times over the years I've tried to play A Link to the Past, and I could just never get into it for some reason. I don't know what it was. I could never get into it. And a few months ago, I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to try and play it. And I was like, man, Link to the Past is actually incredible. It's really good. It's been a good time to get some sweet. Okay, gaming with Retro Bob. I appreciate you being here. I'm probably going to go soon actually as well, because there's not really much else to talk about. We spoke about my thoughts on the Ocarina of Time remake, the teaser. I kind of tried to do my in a not a very good way probably, but I tried to sort of talk about what everybody's been on about with regards to the to the trailer and people complaining and moaning and just all that kind of stuff. So I think the only fitting way. Also, I think if everybody is here still, if you can leave a like on the stream, I'd appreciate it. If you're on YouTube, I am streaming on Twitch as well. So if you want to go and follow me on Twitch, I don't really get. The only time I have people watching on Twitch normally is bots trying to sell me their channel art. They're like, "Oh, can you join my Discord? I've got some art I can make for you, or I can make you some. I can make you some emojis, like emotes." I'm like, "No, thanks, I'm all right." But I think to end the stream, I think it'd be only fitting. First of all, let's turn off the Nintendo Switch 2. Put that into sleep mode. Let's do this. And the last thing I think we should do before I go is I think we should do this. I think this is a fitting way to end the stream. But yeah, I appreciate everybody who's popped in and said hello. And I know I got a little bit animated sometimes. My talking about this game and talking about people online and talking about what people have been talking about, like just dissecting my opinions on this teaser. But all in all, I'm really excited for Ocarina of Time Remake. I'm eagerly waiting to see anything else. I mean, I guess I could quickly. I don't really like to go on Twitter that much nowadays, but the best place to look is Twitter for stuff, I guess, for the most part, unless you want to see some really messed up things. Just in case anything's been put out there. Oh, that's cool. Somebody's took snippets of the tapestry and oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, some people took the snippets of the tapestry and like threaded it together. Huh. Here, look. So the tapestry that's shown in the teaser, and they've threaded it together to show a bit of an image here. That's cool. I wonder what this is here. Look at this. Oh. Nice. That's cool. I wonder what this is. It kind of looks like... Wait, am I crazy? Is that guy look a bit like the outside of Majora's Mask? Anyway. Wait, hold on a sec. No, I'm reaching a bit there. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let's finish off by playing this trailer one more time. Sorry, trying to find out where my stuff's gone. Where? Oh, there it is. Let's play this trailer one more time.
Long ago, there was a land called Hyrule, created by beings of supreme divinity. At the very edge of this kingdom, there lay a small forest. Within it, an ancient solitary tree quietly watched over the inhabitants of the forest. These forest dwellers were called the Kokiri. Each had a fairy companion, and they lived out their innocent lives in these woods. However, there was one particular boy who did not have a fairy.
And there he is. I'm gonna say it. That's the motherfucking hero of time right there. Do you know who that is? All these people online disrespecting the way he looks. That is the motherfucking hero of time. The hero of time. Put some respect on this guy. This little guy. That is the hero of time. The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, reborn for the Switch 2. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Thanks for watching. 2026. Let's just leave it on there. Motherfucking hero of time. Do you know who that is? Anyway, thanks for watching. Appreciate anybody who's been here. I think the 2 super chats, whoever that was from. Sorry, what was your name again? I don't know if you're still here or not, but I really appreciate that. You really didn't have to do that, but I appreciate it a lot. Thanks for everybody else that's been here. If you left a like and all that kind of stuff, and listening to me rant for 2 hours or bloody hell, 3.5 hours actually, which is insane. Thanks for that. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. And maybe I'll stream some more Zelda at some point. Who knows? Anyway, thanks for watching. And yeah, leave a like and all that if you have enjoyed. And I'll be back with probably maybe some more Zelda at some point. Who knows? But yeah, thanks for watching and see you next time. Stay safe. See you next one. Bye.